And welcome to Fankhauser Reserve here in Southport for round 13, near full action. Michael Price and Will Ralston calling your action, and special comments from near full journalist Liam Dettering. Firstly, Will, this is going to be a cracking game. This is really going to set the tone for the ladder for the rest of the year, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The winner of this match cements their spot in the top 6 heading into final season coming up soon. So here at Southport, it's a very big game for both clubs. They both want to get a win on the board.
And Liam Dettering, near full journalist, plenty to play for both sides here.
Well, as you mentioned, Will, before, the side that wins this will go into the 6 at the end of the round. But of course, Ainslie have that gap in hand. If they win today, it's a 2-game buffer. It really sets them up for the rest of the season. They've won 5 games in a row. They're in some really good form coming up. It'll be a tough game here, though, today, because Southport do play their home ground really well.
Yeah, beautiful conditions here at Southport on the Gold Coast, 19.5 degrees, and winter. We scoff at it here in Queensland, and looking forward to the ground's in beautiful condition, perfect conditions for football.
Well, it's a nice summer's day for Ainslie, isn't it, coming up from Canberra, so it'll be interesting to see how the two teams go today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit of a weird one. The sun keeps poking in and out between the clouds, but make no mistake, it gets quite warm out there, so let's see if that's going to prove troubling for Ainslie today.
Now we've got Ainslie, the tricolours warming up at the left of screen, with Southport warming up at the right of screen. I'll go to you first, Liam. Your predictions for the game. We've got some cracking matchups as well. Midfield is where it's obviously going to be tipped over.
Yeah, well, in terms of predictions, I think if we're looking at a like-for-like comparison, in Ainslie's previous game against the Queensland team this year in Redland, they were right in the game up until three-quarter time, only trailing by 5 points, but Redland got away from them in the end. So it'll be interesting to see how they go today, if they're able to stay with Southport. But in the end, I'm probably tipping a 6 or 7 goal win for Southport today at home.
And Will, you've called several Southport games this year. You're very familiar with the side. What are your thoughts?
Well, if they can keep delivering the ball well into Goldsmith up forward, he's been a real tall target for them. And I think it's the smalls that are going to be a bit of a factor today. Your Eddie Mellons and Troutmans up forward, if they can try and find and play the pockets well, because we've seen, particularly I've seen Eddie Mellon struggling to find his goal this season, but accuracy has been a bit of a factor for them, as we see the two captains coming for the toss.
Ainslie won the toss, actually. Eric Stone was acting captain at the toss for Ainslie, playing his 100th near full game or senior game for Ainslie today, and he won the toss, and Ainslie will be kicking to the right of screen as we start the game.
And we mentioned the dangerous duo for Southport up forward. For Ainslie, it's the trio of Nicks up forward, Nick Hayne, Payne, and obviously former Port Adelaide player Nick Salter, who's kicked 31 goals this year. He's been in some really good form, kicked 5 goals, 3 last week. It'll be good to see how he goes up forward today. He'll be a real focal point for them, as he has been all year.
Very lively, and it'll be interesting, the ruck contest between Will Walbers for Southport and Mitch Mulroney for Ainslie. That's where they need to get the ball out of the middle quickly, and midfielders give their midfielders some advantage.
Yeah, I'd like to see how Fraser Pope's game goes today as well. He's been a bit of an X factor in the middle for Southport from the games I've seen this season. But haven't seen too much of Ainslie, to be honest.
Well, Will, one player to certainly look out for is he played in the both NEAFL representative games against Tasmania and the Waffle, is Aaron Vandenberg. And the last game out he had for Ainslie, 33 disposals, 11 clearances, 8 inside 50s. He had a superb game, got them over the line against Belconnen. There's been some talk that he could step up to the next level. Maybe he needs to go and test himself in the Sandful or another league like that, but he's certainly one player to watch today. He's got a lot of quality about him.
So Ainslie in round 12 defeated Belconnen, their ACT stablemates, by 25 points. They've won their last 5 games, so their form line's good. Southport in round 12 smashed Queanbeyan, another ACT side, by 111 points. So should go into this game with reasonable confidence, but I'll go for your tips first. Liam, what do you think?
Well, I said before, Pricey, I think 6 or 7 goals to Southport today is how I see it unfolding.
And Will?
Well, I'll have to go with that as well. I think Southport at home are a formidable opposition. The form line of Ainslie, like you said, it's tempting to go for them. I think we're going to see a good contest, but maybe Southport just coming out on top.
Yeah, you'd have to think that the home side would have the advantage, especially with the temperature conditions. I don't think you can discount that side coming up from the ACT. I had my brother just arrived from Canberra last night, and he said he's not experienced cold like that for a while. He's come back to Queensland, so especially if you're running around here on the Gold Coast with 20-degree heat, it might do something for you. We're just about ready to start here, round 13, Nearful TV. Michael Price and Will Ralston calling all your action. With the special comments from Liam Dettering, Nearful journalist. When the umpire bangs it down, Will Ralston will be regaling you with his dulcet tones to start the game.
Thank you, Michael. So the two ruckmans, as Michael touched on, Will Walbers for Southport and Mulroney for Ainslie. Southport, the home side, kicking to the left-hand side of the screen here at Fankhauser Reserve. The umpire holds the ball aloft and we'll have the first bounce here today. Nearful action, Southport versus Ainslie. It's a good bounce from the umpire. Walbers is able to win that one down. Spills through a few hands, picks up loosely, strong tackle on the wing. Umpire wants to see it play on. Loose ball, a lot of bodies around. Contested footy here, good tackle there from the Ainslie player, and it's going to be a ball up just outside the centre square.
Yeah, tight start as we would predict. Throw up again, give that one to Mulroney for Ainslie. Taps it out. Struggling there, another couple of players on top, and again you're not going to get a lot of movement quickly. There's already a dozen players around the ball, so it's going to be tight in the clinches early.
Well, this is typical Nearful footy. Strong contested, plenty of tackling early on, trying to get their boot on it. This is Mallon from outside 50, gets inside 50 to grab a little kick to Goldsmith. Goldsmith's met by a strong defensive tackle. Ainslie have a few players here to work it out, taking a bounce outside 50, handball over the top. This is good work now. That was Harris. Handball's inside, back to Harris, and he looks wider. That's a dangerous kick though, well intercepted. Southport can return it back inside 50, but it's a poor kick to Goldsmith. He might just work it out. Can't find a teammate. Handballs loosely. Cleaned up by the Ainslie defender. And that's going to be balled up, he's been just inside 50, about 25 metres out from Southport's goal.
You called it correctly, Will. It's very, very tight in the clinches as it is early. Lots of one-on-one play.
Tackling's been excellent from Ainslie to start the game, hasn't it?
Nice clearance out of defence. This could be coming back at them though. It's tapped down there by Stone, the 100 gamer. Goes into the middle for Southport. They want to get it out wide. Nice handballing there. It's going to come back inboard there to Grayson. Grayson chipping down to right half forward. Now here's some room for Fraser Pope. He lines up a big right foot. Pack's going to fly. Oh, Goldsmith was dealt with on the way to the ball. Nothing doing, says the umpire. Ainslie under pressure. Want to get it out of the back line. Oh. Great smother. That's a 1% goal for the Southport Sharks. Great bit of work there by Sam Haslam. Couple of goals in round 12, and that's reward for a great bit of pressure there.
How good was that? But the forward entries by Southport have been so disappointing so far. That's 3 kicks inside 50.
Well, Will, what led to that goal was really Mulroney dropped back into the hole, but dropped the simplest of marks, and then just great pressure from Southport from then on. And as he called Pricey, it was a great 1%er from Sam Haslam, who had a good game last week, like most of his teammates. 2 goals, as you mentioned. He's been an important player for them. He was out a couple of weeks ago, but back in the side. Good start for him.
Yeah, smothers are an underrated statistic. They can really change the momentum of the passage of play. And it really worked out for Haslam. But like I was just touching on, the 4 entries, they really haven't been to Goldsmith's advantage. And like you said, Liam, it was just a simple mark above head that caused that goal. As we see another bounce in the centre of the ground. It should be a clearance to Ainslie, and it is. Puts it out to the advantage of the 4th flanker. So for Ainslie, that is Ward. He can't find a teammate. Heading's there for Southport, but it's going to be Jason. Switches to the other side of the ground. Bit of space here for Southport. It's opening up. He's got his teammate in Walbers further down the field if he wants him. He's going to be Mills for the meantime. He's got Headland inboard, and he finds him. Should take the mark. So Ben Headland has a runner. Burton. Oh, sorry, not Burton. That was his teammate.
Clark. That was Clark who took the mark.
Mark in the centre of the ground. Headland can't find Baxter, but Baxter could clean this one up. Oh, that is a superb shot for goal from Baxter. And these accuracy issues that have sometimes been an issue for Southport haven't posed a threat so far.
Well, it was just 2 involvements there from Stephen Tyne, who's back in the side today there, who set that play up. He got the first possession back inside 50, followed up, and although he wasn't aiming for Clark over the back there, it got to him. Ball came inside 50, it was open for Southport, and Baxter ran in to kick Southport's 2nd goal of the game. They've got away to a good start here.
Well, the boys, good running from the Southport Sharks there to drill through their 2nd goal. 2 goals straight here at Fankhauser Reserve, round 13, Nearful action.
And guys, Mulroney's got on top in the ruck here early. It looks like he's winning the hit-outs over Walbers. He's had 45 and 43 hit-outs respectively in his last 2 games, but just not getting value for the hit-outs at the moment. Southport on top in the clearances early.
Big boy Mitch Mulroney, don't worry about that. The number 38 goes up against Walbers in the middle. It's called back that bounce. It didn't favour Mulroney at all. So the umpire will have another crack at it. Throw it up in the middle. 12 points the difference early on, first term. The umpire, it was Walbers who went up way too early, misjudged it. The ball falls at the hands of Lawless, picked up there, kicked inside forward 50. Good juggling mark there, and courageous too from Grayson for the Sharks. They want to move it again. Headland gets to just outside 50. Nice chipping pass, and he finds his teammate there in Callan Geary. Wheels onto the right foot, inside centre square. He's got captain in Burge. Now, they go across half-back, looking for runners. Oh, there's a good lead from Goldsmith. Honoured, nudged out of it just a little. Umpire says nothing doing, so Ainslie will be trying to clear it. Number 2 is Nick Hayne. Gets it onto the right shoe, tries to find his mate in Mathis over his head. Southport reading it beautifully. The 1-2 there, down the outer side. Grayson. Handball back in board. They are moving it quickly. Southport inside 50. Now Haslam's really got to go. Did well. Slaps it down onto the ground. The Sharks with the ascendancy. They are running inside 50 in big numbers. Great snap there. And boy, oh boy, they really have put the pressure on with their running of Southport, and Jason Burge, the captain, slots through their third.
Well, they've got a lock down on him. In the last 2 minutes, I've seen him have about 4 possessions. He's just running by himself at the moment. The Southport captain, we know how much footy he can find. He's just a prolific ball winner. If Ainslie don't lock down on him, don't start pressuring their defensive transition. It's going to start getting ugly for them, because Southport are just running with far too much ease from their back 50. Will.
Well, it was just far too easy. It was a matter of who was going to kick the goal. Well, as soon as you saw the combination of Pope and Wells on that forward flank running inside 50, there were just numbers streaming towards goal, and it was just Burge who happened to be on the end of it. But once again, it was a good finish. Got to kick the goals. There's a 2 ruckman go up again in the centre. That's Vandenberg. Ainslie puts it inside 50. It's going to dribble outside the boundary line, just in that forward pocket there. So this is the first real attacking opportunity for Ainslie.
Well, they've had the 2 last inside 50s, but they're just not clean clearances at the moment. They're sort of just banging the ball forward, which is better than the alternative, but they've just got to start looking for the cleaner hands. Well, the umpire can't go over the fence to get the ball, Will. That's the problem.
Is that a rule?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing. Good on you, Liam.
It's a tidbit of the day there from Liam Dettering.
That's why he's got the title of NEFL journalist.
As we see a ball in, right in Ainslie's forward pocket. Wobbles was pushed out of it. Plenty of players down there. It's going to be Southport to win this one out. This is Geary. Looks for his teammate. Can't find him. Teammate is Clark. Cleaning up his Utica. Trying to spin out of trouble. Plenty of players there. Salter. Dribbles towards goal. Southport to rebound. Well done there. So this is Keller. Handball to Pope. Plenty of runners now. Just a pack of Sharks here. Geary wants to find Goldsmith. That was a good sprawl there by Bowles. Bowles gets it back. Utica chips to the wing. Just kicks it in accidentally. Ainslie player, I think. Hill, Mills, back to Hill. Well done, Southport. Bit of space, and he'll kick this one down to the forward flank.
Oh, outnumbered there is Baxter. Ainslie, nice mark taken by Jordan Utica for Ainslie. So the Tricolours move the ball across. That's Nick Hayne. Hayne onto the left foot. Cross half back. Now they've got some numbers going across in the midfield there. Quickly picked up. There's a lead coming up from Hurst. They look for him. Good punch away from the Southport defence. It hits the deck. Evades Mitch Warden over the boundary line. On the outer wing.
But just again, we saw on this closer side to us a couple of minutes ago, Southport just with so many numbers behind the football. They're working out really nicely at the moment, coming off half back. 3 goals straight to the Sharks at the moment, to Ainslie yet to score. The throw in hit towards Southport's advantage, but picked up by Ainslie. Move the handball there from O'Neill. Now it's going to go through the middle. Good smother again. That one from Burton. Ball still in dispute. Ainslie with it though. Grayson scrags his opponent as Haslam kicks it forward. It evades the Southport player in Wells. Now Ainslie again at half back, and they'll move it down the outer wing again.
So a bit of ping pong here, back and forth on this outer wing. Ainslie should send this one inside 50. Just outside, but it's going to be marked by Salter. Looking prominent so far. Kick inside 50. Can't find his teammate in pain because it was a shove.
Not sure about that. It looked like it was in the side. That looked like a pretty fair contest from Payne. Just looked like he used his body better, but the umpire didn't agree.
I don't think he was impressed with the decision either. Headland. Mills. It's a good run here by Southport. Well done here by Cullinan. Quick hands, back and forth. This is going to be Cornish now. Spins out of trouble, finds Cullinan once again in the centre circle. Puts it to the advantage of Baxter, if you don't mind Josh Baxter. That was read beautifully, and the kick was superb by Cullinan.
But again, Headland coming out through the back line there. Him and Grayson are two really important players for Southport. The last game they had 38 and 33 possessions respectively, but it was a great kick coming through the middle. Baxter just eased his opponent out of it and took a mark. Go back, very kickable goal here, Will.
He really should slot this one. He kicked his first from a pretty similar angle. This one, of course, will be from a set shot. So the Sharks just skipping away to an early lead. It's been a bit closer in the last 5 minutes. This would stretch it out to 24 points if Baxter can slot it. But he just pushes it to the right, so that's his first behind of the day. Pushing out to a 3-1, 19-point lead over Ainslie yet to score.
So Ainslie bringing the ball back in now. That's a booming kick. Boy, that is a good kick. Gets to the centre wing, Southport, almost controlling the ball through Geary, but Ainslie pick it up now, and it's shunted through by Ellis to left half forward. It's going to bounce out. Will it evade Wade Mills? It does, over the boundary line. We'll have a throw in just with a 50-metre arc, intersects the boundary line at left half forward for Ainslie.
Not a bad result in the end, Pricey. They had nothing up forward, and just to get the chance to reset here at a stoppage should give them a good chance going forward.
So we get the throw in. Ainslie desperately wanting to get some reward for their forward foray. Short boundary throw in. Walber's got the tap down, so it advantages Southport. Injecting himself there with the Ainslie player, got it through to a teammate. That's going to go to the goal square. Southport with the numbers. Ainslie with the crummers. Here's Payne. Picks it up, snaps, and there's the first score. Well, I likened him physically to Brent Guerra a little bit earlier. 3-4 Ainslie, Nick Payne. They showed his experience. He's in this week, and that was a great goal.
Well, Mills had drifted back off that stoppage to be the loose man. Just didn't impact the contest enough. Once it hit the ground, Payne, so clever. That's his 28th goal for the year in his 8th game. He's kicked 4 goals or more on 5 occasions. He's a really dangerous player up forward for them.
I think Luke Hill was under a bit less pressure than he expected as well. I think he went for a spoil and possibly could have marked it. And similar to Haslam's goal, they've just taken advantage of defensive blunder to get their first on the board, and it's a goal they needed because they haven't had much reward for effort in the last 5 minutes. So bounce in the centre. Should be another chance for Ainslie if they can get their hands on it. It's going to be a ball rush.
There's starting to be a little bit happening off the ball between Cornish for Southport and Rice for Ainslie, so just keep an eye on that.
As we see another ball up near the centre circle. Walber's Geary.
I think Stewart's gone into the ruck now, Will.
So that was an ugly kick out wide. It's been marked by Hurst. He has a runner in Payne. He has a bit of space. Short kick down the line. I think this is Harris. Tui's in the middle. Level to the runner. Booming kick inside 50, but it should be marked. Oh no, it's been well read by Payne once again. Just carried a tiny bit further than the Southport defender was expecting.
Well, he just completely misread it in flight. Chose to take the front position, ran himself under it, and Payne at the back.
Payne, that's a bad miss. So he kicks his first behind as well, taking his count to 1-1, as well as Ainslie's count to 1-1-7. 12-point lead to Southport.
And so they bring the ball back in, ends up at right half back. Good handball there from Mills and good running from the Southport Sharks. They've been doing this all first quarter so far. The big run there comes from Clark. Didn't quite accept the ball. He made all the effort to get there. Ainslie will pick it up. No, it's been judged over the boundary line, so we'll get a throw in there. There was good effort from Adam Clark to get
Well,
there.
we were watching, he ran right from the centre square to get there. He nearly did in the end, but just the kick just evaded him in the end, unfortunately.
12 points the margin in favour of Southport here at Fankhauser Reserve. First quarter of round 13 of Nearful football. Mulroney gets the hit down for Ainslie. Handball out wide. O'Neill, can he get it? No. Once again over the boundary line, we'll have a throw in front of the Doug Hannell Memorial scoreboard.
Good reference there, Michael.
Got to use whatever you've got in front of you sometimes.
Well, we don't have much to go off today, do we?
Boundary throwing right on the halfway point of the field. So like you said, Liam, it's Stewart in the ruck for Southport now. As the ball dribbles inside the centre square. This is Ward. Good tackle there. Costigan didn't have a teammate, so Southport going to work it out through Headman. Handball inside, he wasn't expecting it. That's a poor drop there from Time. But we're going to have the ball up anyway. So a neutral position here for both teams.
Ainslie have really evened up this midfield battle in the last 5 minutes. It's been a much better effort from them in close.
Dylan Troutman, Costigan underneath the ball for Ainslie. Could have been a high contact there against the Ainslie ruckman. Nothing doing. Umpire says no, so Costigan kicks it forward, and it's Wade Mills who takes the defensive mark for the Sharks. Gets it out to Callanan now. Nice little jink inside. He sees a lead he likes. Just overcooked the kick. Ainslie should be able to recover here. Oh, good bit of defensive work from Southport. Ainslie recover the ball now. The handball, again, it's just a little bit astray. Picked up by Grayson, he bombs it forward. Ainslie with the numbers. Utica, can he get the ball? No, injecting himself there, the Southport player. Ball stuck underneath several again. There will be a ball up. Some scrappy stuff there, but the intent is there, and we don't mind that at all. The ball up between wing and half forward on the outer side.
There's a bit of feeling between both teams so far. As Stewart wins that one down, it's going to be a clearance to Ainslie. Good smother. Bursting through the pack is Geary. Could have been taken high. The teammates wanted it. The umpire won't have a bar of it. Jumped into the tackle, I think he was climbing. So another ball up in the same position. Players here really contested footy. Another smother. Trying to burst through his melon as he always does. Ball spills free. Two Southport Sharks players getting each other's way. It comes out to Mathis. Kick down the line. It's a grubby little one to Payne. He reads it pretty well. Defender is Hill. It's like a wrestling contest out there on the forward flank. No one can get their hands on it. And another ball.
Ainslie's got the ball only 60 out from goal and don't have one player inside their forward 50. We've just got one running back now.
Wade Mills is the man for Southport, who's basically the loose man. Bernasconi is doing the job down the other end for Ainslie, so both sides with a loose when they can.
Yeah, they've got Tyne setting up now there.
So yet another stoppage. A few numbers around the ball. Mulroney gets the tap down. Nice smothering again there. Ball picked up by Hurst for Ainslie. Again, the ball scrubbed forward. It's with Southport now. Nice lead coming there from Geary. And he did well the second time around. Nice recovery. He's got another lead there from Salter. Gets the ball. Handball back now. They're moving it well by hand, are the Sharks. As soon as you say that, he overcooked the handball and over the boundary line. That kills you every time, doesn't it? New boundary throw in. At right half forward for Southport. They're leading by 12 points here in the first term.
Yeah, often some of these movements, there's just one link in the chain that keeps letting them down. That was handball there. It was starting to sync up. Was that a shove in the ruck contest? I think the umpire says yes. So it's going to be a Southport free kick. And set up here. Up forward, the tall targets are Walbers and Goldsmith. Walbers underneath it. Take the mark off hands. Here's Geary. Was he taken high? Ball spills free. Plenty of defenders there for Ainslie. Costigan turns it over. Cornish back inside 50. Having to sit there was the Ainslie defender. Utica. Goldsmith well tackled. Umpire ball it up once again.
Good tackled by Bowles there and big fella Goldsmith. And their defensive pressure has not been bad at all. Ainslie under some extreme pressure. Ruckman get it down now. Ainslie should be able to clear this. and do. He's got plenty of time, almost made a meal of it, onto the left foot. Now that's an ill-directed kick. Wade Mills has been sitting there for a minute now. He's got players everywhere inside the corridor. It's going to end up with Luke Hill. Luke Hill spears a pass. He probably needed to kick it a little higher for Goldsmith. It's well read by Bowles. Took his time. Good bit of forward pressure there by Southport. Almost resulted in another 1% goal. But Ainslie should be able to clear here. It's a chipping ball. No. Will it make it out? It's well cut off there by Headland. Southport with the numbers again. Grayson. It's going to end up back with Callanan. He's under pressure. Gets it back to Grayson. He dances on a dollar. Handball back inside to Headland. Back to Grayson. Will it? No. Yes, eventually. Tackled. Umpire. What's he going to say? Ball. End of story. So Ainslie with the ball and a free kick at half back. A lot of pressure there.
What a bizarre passage of play that was.
Well, every time it looked like they were going to get out, just Ainslie had that one defender there who was able to pressure the disposal and in the end turned it over.
Now, that looked like a good kick down the line, but it's been chopped off once again, so they can sync up the two handballs here, Southport. Out wide is Walbers if he wants him. Haslam sees him. Keller looks for Walbers. Right outside 50, takes the mark. A few players coming off the bench just to chop that one off.
I'm telling you now, he doesn't have the legs, so he's going to have to look for a handball off.
Troutman's behind him if he wants him. He's going to send it forward, so Goldsmith's in the goal square to meet at the flight of it. Bit of distance there from Walbers, but too many defenders there to deal with it for Ainslie. Wells can't get a boot on it, and it's been rushed through, so that's another behind for Southport. 3-2-20, leading Ainslie by 13 points.
So Ainslie to bring the ball back in. Now Bowles, he's got a big boot on him, but he looks for a pass this time and finds a teammate. Putting his teammate under pressure there. It is Mathis now. He turns and goes, looks inboard. He's got a runner in Lawless. Can he get the ball? No. Ill-directed again. So Southport, the result of another turnover. There's numbers everywhere. Pope. Is he going to get the ball over to Geary? He does. The handball out wider. Under pressure there is Burge. Burge can't turn in forward, so goes backwards. Southport mucking around with the ball a fair bit here, I've got to tell you, as Cornish gets it and kicks long inside 50. More direct football. Ainslie with the numbers through the hands of the defender in Bowles. Hits the deck. They are going to clear it. Just. It goes back out to half-back now, blinded by the light, obviously there, the Southport player in Burge, and Ainslie should be able to clear it. Oh, that's a dangerous kick, but it's going to end up with Fleming in the guts.
So Fleming with plenty of run, handballs to himself, gets away with what could have been holding the ball. Fleming takes another bounce. No one inside 50 whatsoever, so Payne looks for a teammate, goes backwards, and it's going to be Ellis.
That was a really clever kick there. There was absolutely nothing on, just the vision inside.
So big kick outside 50 from Salter. Just offline. Wasn't that an unorthodox forward entry? So Mills, oh, it's been turned over. But Mills just cleans up his mess. And finds his teammate in Callanan. They should rebound pretty comfortably.
And Stewart has it at left half back for the Sharks. Sees a man up the line is Troutman. He takes the mark. Fairly static now. Ainslie with the numbers pushed up, but that's a beautiful pass and a nice bit of evasive work as Clark gets the ball, risks a bounce, then tries to measure a pass and kicks it down the guts of Utica. Utica wants to come out a little bit wider, finds his teammate in Sean Campbell. Now Campbell, has he got some movement ahead? Not a lot. So he goes backwards. Just waxing a little with the ball inside defensive 50 of the Tricolours. They're 12 points beyond, 2 goals straight, and when you consider the amount of ball that Southport have got in, I think they've done very well to hold the margin to that level. Aaron Vandenberg takes the mark now. They're just settling the play down, taking a bit of the tempo out. It's late in the first term, so not bad tactics from Ainslie. Long kick down the line. Payne just jumped into his opponent. Didn't really make much of an effort on the ball. The mark was taken out the back by Southport, and that's with Ben Headland.
Headland, that's a dangerous kick once again, but it should work out. There's Keller. He's got time there if he wants him. Ball spills out in the centre circle. Plenty of players there. Well done, Cornish, but that's a strong tackle. And we'll have another ball up. So Southport, I find they've been really erratic in some of their decision making. There's been plenty of opportunities sometimes to just
Well,
send it inside 50.
Well, we've seen Ainslie have been really keen to have that loose man in defence, and I think a couple of times they've just seen him in the hole and balked at the idea of sort of kicking long.
Yeah, it's just put them off from making a forward entry, and they're knocking around with hands.
And with the lack of tall forwards for Ainslie, we've seen Luke Hill being thrown forward now by Coach Matt Angus, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes up forward. It's happened a couple of times. He's sort of the Ben Reid of the Southport side, if you like.
So Walbers gets it down for the Sharks. Lots of pressure on the ball carriers. Nick Salter for Ainslie tries to scrub it forward. It's taken by Tyne for Southport. Back to Tyne now. He's surrounded by Ainslie players. Chips the ball to Stewart, who probably should have taken that. Messes it up. Ainslie with the ball now. The handball wasn't direct, but it's going to hit the target. It is now with Jason Fleming. He can run to 50, and he goes for the long shot. Just bounces left and one behind. Might as well. There was nobody else down there apart from the Southport.
Well, he got a leg cutter when he needed an off cutter there. It just took the bounce away from you.
Well, they're the only shots for goal they're going to have today, by the looks of it, Ainslie. They've got no one in the last line of the forward line, as that ball's been turned over once again. So Vandenberg's going to run away with it, sends it to the hot spot, going up. Teammate can't take it. Hurst is there, can't take a shot for goal. Spinning around is Harris, and he slots it through. That's his first of the day, and he pulls them to within a goal.
Well, I'd just like to say I think it was a really good bit of coaching from Chris Rourke. After the first five or so minutes when Southport was just running the ball freely out of defence, they put the man behind the ball, and ever since then their ball movement stagnated. They've really got back into the game, Ainslie. And we see Harris there, who finished off. He had a really good game last week. 24 disposals in the game against Belconnen. Really good contributor in there. We saw him getting forward, got on the end of it and kicked a really nice left foot snap, Michael.
Yeah, and they've really committed to getting that loose man in defence, have Ainslie, and I think it's really worked for them. Good call there, Liam. As it is 5 points the margin, and you wouldn't think that Southport, with the level of ball that they've had, would only have a 5-point margin here at Fankhauser Reserve. It's like in the first term, and it's 20 plays 15. The Sharks over the tricolours from Ainslie. Now it's Eric Stone gets the tap down for Ainslie. Ball with Ellis. Ellis under pressure gets it to Harris. Harris now onto the right foot. Kicks it towards the half-forward line, just inside 50. A little bit of a nudge there. No, umpire's called a hold off the ball. It'll be a free kick to Ainslie. Long bomb from Salter and pulls it left. 4 points the margin. 2-4-16 to Ainslie. 3-2-20 for Southport.
It's the second one of them we've seen. They just give it to Salter and hope he can bang it.
Well, they're going to get punished in the end, Southport, because they're just sagging off him and giving him a lot of room around that 50-metre arc.
They're giving him the opportunity. It's almost like a 3-point shot in basketball. They're just giving it to him each time. Well, that's dangerous play on. Is that holding the ball?
High
50
tackle.
metres.
Oh.
Had to be one or the other. So, I think it was Tyne that got tackled. The free kick's against Payne.
Well, they're the difficult ones because you try and commit, but until the umpire calls play on, you can't actually go, can you?
Exactly. So they should probably send this one inside 50. Southport, Tyne, Walters. Once again, a little handball back and forth.
Well, Mulroney just dropped off again there, and we see him standing right in the hole there. Southport just didn't want to go long on that occasion.
So Burge, handball over the top. Mallon's there, so is Goldsmith. Goldsmith has a shot for goal. And he's put it through. It wasn't very clean off the boot. It looked like it was hovering back and forth, but just found its way through the big sticks. And so that's his first of the day. Taking it out to 4-2-26 to Ainslie 2-4-16.
Well, they sort of needed that goal, didn't they, with all the ball they're having. They really need to clean up these forward 50 entries because traditionally the scoring end at Southport is the end, which the Sharks are kicking to at the moment. So to only have a 10-point lead, you'd have to say Ainslie would be very happy with their efforts so far in this game.
Well, 6 scoring shots apiece, of course, the Ainslie side have been taking their shots from outside 50, as you say, from 3-point territory. But it's the Sharks who are holding sway at the moment by 10 points. As the umpire gets it down in the middle, it'll be Mulroney versus Walbers.
Perfect bounce, just quietly.
Nice work from the umpire. Mulroney gets it down. Sharks player picked it up, was tackled so immediately I can't even tell which number he's wearing. Smothering tackle there by the number 17 and Lucas O'Neill for Ainslie. So the umpire will do it again inside the set of circles. Mulroney gets it down to his feet. It's picked up actually by Walbers, the opposing ruckman. Mallon now gets the handball out. It's going to end up with Headland. Headland, kick smothered now. Hayne for Ainslie gets the handball back to Rice. Rice, long kick. It's a one-on-one in the forward 50 for Ainslie. Nice juggling mark taken there by Nick Salter. And he should be able to pop this through to drag it back to a 4-point ball game.
Well, it was just a fantastic kick there. It just had the right penetration on it, got over the back, and Salter was always in position one there. Took a nice, easy mark. Should go back to finish off and kick his second of the day. Oh, first of the day, sorry.
I've already penciled it in, Liam. Sorry about that. So there he does just that. His first goal, Nick Salter. 5 goals in round 12 against Belconnen and 31 odd touches there, so he did well there and he's doing okay here. So it's back to a 4-point ball game, 26 plays 22 here at Fankhauser Reserve, the Sharks in front.
Well, he's just continued his tremendous season, Salter. He hasn't had a goalless game, and we're not going to see one today after that goal. He's been terrific all year for them, and just a very dangerous player. Obviously, AFL experience with Port Adelaide, a real key for them today, Will.
Yeah, it was an impressive kick. It was a perfect kick, perfect mark, and you can tell Salter's going to be the next factor just from this first quarter. Like we mentioned just before the bounce, Vandenberg and Salter have been performers for Ainslie this season, and not much is changing today. So another ball up, still a 4-point margin. So Walbers wins it down. Good work there in the centre by Southport, but it's been turned over. Another smother of the handball. Ainslie put it high down the wing. Couple players underneath, a good mark there. Defensive mark from Burton. So Burton for Southport looks in board. Dangerous kick, but it works out. So Cornish looks in board. Edmund's been busy. Good kick to Goldsmith. Ideally, he'd want to be on the end of this one. There's the sign, so that's going to carry us out for the first quarter. The Southport Sharks 4-2-26, leading Ainslie 3-4-22. And how did you see it, Liam?
Well, I was quite negative on Ainslie actually after Southport kicked the first 3 goals, but they fought back really well. Just the tactical changes to get that loose man behind the footy really worked for them. They tightened up around the middle, and they go into quarter time with only a 4-point deficit. They've done really well this quarter.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ainslie, especially after the early onslaught, just sort of regained their composure, the loose man in defence, and their pressure hasn't been under question from the word go regardless. So mixing all of that together, as long as we can get some shots that aren't just from 3-point territory like that last entry, then I'm sure we've got a very, very close game coming up.
So it's a tight, intriguing contest, living up to its expectations here at Fankhauser Reserve, and we'll see you in the next quarter here on Neefel TV with the Sharks leading by 4 points at quarter time.
Welcome back to Fankhauser Reserve. It's round 13 here in the Neefle. The Southport Sharks versus the Ainslie Tricolours. At quarter time, Southport 4-2-26 lead Ainslie 3-4-22. Single goal scorers Goldsmith, Baxter, Haslam and Burge for Southport. You've got Payne, Salter and Harris for Ainslie. Michael Price and Will Ralston calling all your action with Liam Dettering, Neefle journalist, with all the special comments. Boys, an entertaining first quarter.
Yeah, it certainly was, Pricey. After Southport jumped the gun early and got away to a 3-goal start, Ainslie came back really well, really tightened up the contest. And by my reckoning, they're kicking to the scoring end this quarter, so it'll be interesting to see how Southport hold up.
So Ainslie will be kicking to the left of screen as we start the second quarter with Will Ralston.
So the two ruckmen to go at it once again. Troutman trying to burst his way through traffic. Oh, coming back was Mallon. Head down, back to Burge. This is time. Has a bit of loose space on the left. Puts it to the lead of Haslam. Haslam can take his time here. He's already kicked 1 goal today. He puts it inside 50. Lead of Goldsmith. Well done by Goldsmith. Just broke the defensive efforts there of Bowles. Found a tiny bit of separation, and that was enough. Good kick by Haslam, really to his advantage.
Well, it really forced him to run onto it, didn't it? He sort of hung the ball there and said, come on, Jake, you get on to the end of this one. And he did in the end. So
Goldsmith, he's the big forward target for Southport today. Has been all season. From the edge of the 50. Still right off the boot.
Well, Will, as you said there, he really is the key target today because Baxter's gone off with what looks like a quad injury. We saw him with the ice on at quarter time, so he's going to be really important now as the number 1 forward.
So Ainslie bringing the ball back in. That's an up and under kick. It advantages Southport. Goldsmith at the front of the pack. Could have actually been awarded the free kick. Nothing doing. Ainslie defence will bring it out. They're going to run it nicely down the outer side with O'Neill. He has 1 bounce, 2 bounces. He's got some runners in board. Has another bounce. Looking up forward for somebody moving. He sees that moving target, and that is Stone. Stone playing his 100th game for Ainslie today. Just holds it up. He hasn't got any forward targets. The Southport have absolutely flooded their defensive 50. He does now see Nick Salter. Salter, 70 metres from goal. Wants to measure a pass. Beautiful pass. 2 hands in the back there too. There's a nice set of hands there. And playing on. Wants to play on. Umpire says, no, you can't do that at all. So Sean Ellis has to go back and kick over his mark. He obviously was worried about the journey. And he plays on. He wants to pass it. It's just an average kick and went through the legs of his teammate. Now puts under pressure. That's Utica. Utica turns onto the left foot. He's got a lead out there. As he got him, no, he actually hit it, but it was spilled over the boundary line. And it'll be a throw-in for Ainslie in their forward pocket. It was a reasonable pass, but just not able to be taken there.
Once Ellis had the mark, they had a mark inside 50, and it seems like a real waste of an opportunity there for Ainslie. So no one gets their hands on it from the boundary throw-in. Running away with it, it's going to be time. He's had a couple of touches early to space. This is Clark. Plenty of space, actually. He could hit up a teammate. Here's Mallon. Has to double back to pick up a loose handball. Mallon swings on to the right. And drifts across the face as well.
Clark didn't work that as well as he could have. If he just held it up a bit longer and let Eddie Mallon run on a bit further, he could have chipped it to him and they could have had a set shot there, but chose to handball instead. Forced him to rush his kick and just a minor score for Southport there.
Exactly. He pulled the trigger far too early.
So Bowles kicks it to himself, plays on. Geez, he's got a fair shoe, has Bowles. He kicks it to right half back. Oh, well done there by Lawless for Ainslie. Gets the handball out wider. He's going to get it back here too. Under lots and lots of pressure. Good stuff from the Southport Sharks. Really hassling the ball carrier there. Ainslie do manage to get the ball back now through Fleming. Gets the handball back. Boy, oh boy, they're mucking around with the ball. They don't want to go too far forward. Southport do have the numbers pushed right across to the outer side. Nice bit of zoning defensive work. And Ainslie back inside defensive 50. About 35 seconds after they exited their defensive 50. A long kick to the outer wing. It only advantages Southport. Now that could be 50. Nothing, says the umpire. Down below they were calling for it as well, but Southport have it on the outer side.
Really should have been 50. That was...
Well, it was crude. It was crude.
Yeah, very crude. So Goldsmith, not to his advantage, and it's been chopped off by Hayne. So it's going to travel out of bounds. sun really starting to shine now. Temperature probably creeping up into the 20s. So it's a boundary throw-in. Southport's full flank. Read well there by the Ainslie midfielders, and they're going to burst away with this one. Chip to the wing. Here's Ellis once again. He has a bit of space here. A few runners. Walker's there. He goes longer. This is Mathis. He looks at the view. Can't see much to kick to. It's a barren side inside 450. So Ainslie trying to set up something here. Kick to the flank once again. Ellis, not much of a marking target. And that's going to be spoiled out of bounds once again.
Southport with all the numbers back, Liam.
Certainly pricey, but to get around that, you've really got to move in the forward line, and just a lot of stagnant targets. They did try and put a block on for Salter, but just the numbers from Southport sort of covered that pretty easily in the end. 6
points the margin, Southport in favour. Boundary line throw in, slap down. It's picked up there by Ainslie. In the ball out now, Lawless. He's going to go long inside 50 to the advantage of Payne. He's in front. Good spoiling effort there. And well picked up by Tyne, who must be racking up the stats as we speak. It's scrubbed forward. Under pressure there. Hill gets the handball back in. Geary. Now it's going to end up with Tyne again. He started the chain, he finished it off. Well worked, and that is now with Tyler Cornish in this week. He's got a runner on the outside. It's also Adam Clark also in this week on the interchange. Clark gets to 50. Oh, nice ball. Just hits his teammate about 2 metres from the goal line. And a bit of pace shown there by Clark as well.
Certainly pricey, but off half back we saw a fantastic handball inside from Jason Burge, just changed the angle completely. Tyne hit up the target through the middle.
Mallon plays on, hooks it around, and he does beautifully. His first goal of the day, and Southport extend their lead 5-4-34, plays 3-4-22 here at Fankhauser Reserve at Southport.
Well, we just saw Southport's ability to open up the centre there, because Tyne, when he came in board, was able to give it off to Cornish, who floated it out in front of Clark. Clark, just with a lot of speed, was able to get onto the end of that, delivered it in nicely, and Southport kicked their fifth goal of the game. Sorry.
Yeah, so it's the second time it's happened now with Clark finding a bit of space there on the wing. He was able to deliver a lot more effectively that time than the first opportunity he had, hitting Mallon with a beautiful driving kick.
Got a knack for a goal, has Ed Mellon, doesn't he?
He's so tenacious. We've seen it a couple of times today already, just bursting through a pack. He's not afraid to put his head down. The unorthodox kicking style as well. Sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. So 5-4-34 leading Ainslie 3-4-22. Southport with a 12-point lead as the umpire bounces this one down. Walters wins it down, Troutman's there. Harries it a bit with his hands. This is going to be Salter, tackled well, so Vandenberg. Scrubby little kick. Ellis can't meet it. Stewart, turned over once again to Vandenberg. He puts it inside 50, just to the edge of the 50. Ward. Ball spills free. Couple of sharks there to clean it up. Good pick up there by Keller. And that's a good kick.
Great recovery. That was a great recovery from Keller. He laid the tackle, then when the ball spilled, got up and used it well as Cornish runs away down the outer wing. Sells a dummy, has another couple of bounces, gets around the big fella, hits it with the right foot. Inside 50, Goldsmith was favoured by the kick, but it was out of bounds on the full regardless. Ainslie will take the ball away. Nick Hayne now has it in the back pocket. Not a hell of a lot of movement for him. He's got a long option. Tyne's read this nicely. Courageous from Tyne, but well done from Clint Mathis, who took the ball. It suited him. Tyne was just backing back. Touched off the boot, so Stone was called to play on. He just lets the ball go. His Southport teammates got it, and he tried to reverse the decision there, more or less, but the umpire says, no, we'll just ball it up.
What's that strange? Burton tackled him.
Well, he just bulldozed Burton there, didn't he? Then sort of gave him the ball and said, you be the one holding the ball.
Then he tried to ping him.
Now, Nick Burton's got a cut. There has been a blood rule, and he'll go off the field as we speak.
I'm not surprised he's got a blood nose. It was a big contest with Stone. So ball up on the commentary wing. Walbers, big hit out. No one can find it though. Vandenberg trying to burst his way through. Walbers finds Pope. Just opened up, but that's going to be trouble. Just gets a handball out. Haslam back to Grayson. Headland. And this is Callanan on the left. Puts it high inside 50. Goldsmith's there. Can't take a mark. Mallon tries to burst through as well. Clark just gets a toe on it. Good defensive work by Hayne. And they're going to work this one out pretty comfortably, Ainslie. Ellis is there on the outer wing, and he takes a strong mark.
He turns back inboard, sells it nicely. Oh, wow, that's missed the target. That's missed the Southport player as well.
They've got a
So
man
it's
free,
working
man free
now.
50.
They certainly have. They've moved it forward. Very lucky there for Ainslie. Ordinary kick, though. Slows it down. Oh, and a great smother there. And good work there by Tyne.
I think that was Stewart.
Oh, Stewart, sorry. As the ball's picked up now by the big fella in Walbers. He's immediately tackled. Does well. Gets a handball away to Salter. Salter gets it forward now to Pope. Pope wants to spear it, and that was not the greatest option because the Ainslie defence had the numbers there. They're peeling out now. The agency of Campbell. Campbell gets it back to Fleming. Fleming under pressure. Kicks down the line, and that's almost a kick for touch, and we'll pack the scrum between wing and half back for Ainslie. It's 12 points the margin in favour of Southport here in the second term here on round 13, NEFL TV.
So ball up, just forward of Southport's. Looks up with Stewart, back to Tyne, looks inside. So it's going to be Callanan. There's Headland, and also has Haslam. He can handle if he wants. Haslam chips over the top to Headland. Should take the mark. Handball to Burge. Plays on. He's got Grayson inside 50. Could have a shot for goal here. Grayson runs inside and slots it. Beautiful link-up play there. Some really quality players there from Southport, linking up with a few handballs and Todd Grayson on the end of it. Puts it out to an 18-point lead.
Well, I might have miscalled the scoring end, it looks like, but I really think it's more down to the fact that the team kicking against the advantage is actually using the ball better. So many times we've seen Ainslie coming out of defence this quarter sort of just bombing away, and even when they have got it going forward, they just haven't had a target inside 50. As you mentioned, Will, a really nice passage of play from Southport, finished off by Grayson to extend the lead to 18 points, Michael.
Exactly, 2 goals, 2 so far in the second term to Southport, and Ainslie yet to score in the second term. So takes it out to that lead of 18 points. Mucking around with the ball a bit, both sides on occasions. So maybe over finessing. They are getting spooked by the extra men in defence. And that was Hill who jumped up and got the hit down for Southport. Oh, good tackle there, although Salter gets the ball away for Ainslie. Now they've got some numbers. Inside forward 50, this will go. The Southport defence leader, Stewart, overruns the ball. Now it's with Wade Mills, gets the ball over to Grayson, the goal kicker from just a minute ago. Captain in Burge gets it across. Now here's the lead. You've got Troutman here with the ball for Southport. He's got a runner in Tyne, and just coming off the bench, Ian Lawless filled them all. Hurst chips it. Now Lawless inboard. He's going to go long inside 50 over the head of Mills. That advantages his teammate. That's a good kick and good body work. Oh no, it was a push out. Must have been the hands in the back from Payne, and Southport will relieve, and they will be relieved.
Very unlucky from Payne.
Well, it's the second time he's been called for that in the game.
But Ainslie were able to send it back from where it came from, but it's just a swarm of sharks down there. Absolutely no one to kick to. And this is going to be far too easy for Grayson. Well, he runs into a bit of trouble, but he's got time to relieve. Time with a massive second quarter so far. Puts it to the advantage of Troutman. He can't get on the end of it. Rebounding are Ainslie. Down the line, that was Payne. No, sorry, it wasn't. It was Payne.
Fantastic mark by Salter there.
Just used his body to protect the area, and then used his strength and guile to take that mark.
So Salter's had a big second quarter as well. He just directs it down the line. It was a good kick. But it's going to spill over for a boundary throw-in.
Good defensive work there from Wade Mills.
So It's still an 18-point lead. I think that's as far as the margin got out to in the first quarter as well. As we'll see the ball sail in just outside Ainslie's forward 50. Should be a free kick to Ainslie, and it is. Ruck infringement there. So taking it is Stone. Eric Stone for Ainslie. Possibly doesn't quite have the journey. He's kicking from at least 60. Plays on. Back to Salter, who just had the ball a moment ago. They've got numbers forward now, so he might just send it long down the line. It's a disciplined kick. Can't take the mark. Ward was there. Ward spilling free. O'Neill takes on the tackler. Here's a teammate. Handball inside. So a lot of players trying to get their hands on it. Ball spilling free. Strong tackles. Diving in. What's the umpire going to do here? I think he's playing holding the ball against Southport.
He dived on the ball. Immediately on the ball.
It's probably a fair decision because he really did kill the ball there. He did, Eddie Mellon. So it's going to be a shot for goal for Ainslie. 40 metres out directly in front.
He's trying to make out. I think it's Utica with the ball. He's been a player in really good form for Ainslie as well. He's one of their prime movers in the middle. Looks like a left footer coming in, so it'll be interesting to see. Should go back and kick this though. 45 out right in front.
So Utica, Jordan Utica on the left. Umpire does a tiny bit of movement, but it's touched off the boot. So it did go through for a goal. It was touched early up the ground, and so the kick out comes to Hedman.
Southport bringing the ball back in as a breeze comes towards the commentary box across the ground. Just lifted up. Wade Mills now has it at full back for the Southport Sharks. Leading by the 17 points in the second term here, round 13 near full TV. Beautiful kick, a nice lead on it there. Luke Hill has the ball for Southport. Goes across half back. A little risky, but well directed. Tyne racking up the stats. Tyne at half back. Again, they're trying to use the ball directly. Short, sharp passing. The captain in Burge, Jason Burge, has the ball for Southport. All Ainslie numbers in front of him as well, so he goes for the shorter option.
Little Clark again, finding a bit of space.
Diminutive, but he's made some good yards to get to the places where the ball needs to be, as Callan Geary has the ball now. Wheels around on the right foot, and that's a good kick to a good lead. Southport with the ball again. Long inside 50. That's a booming kick. It's the post. Again, that unusual kicking style. He loves to sniff out a goal. He nearly had another one there. So 6-5 plays 3-5. 3-goal margin again, Will.
I didn't know if he quite had the 50-metre range in him, but he made it pretty comfortably. They hit the post quite high as Geary takes the intercepting mark. Wants 50. The player's in board. Here's Hedland again. He's probably been best for Southport so far. And this bloke's not been bad either, has time. On his left, he'll look inside 50. It's a dangerous kick, but it's been poorly directed. Just in the middle of the two targets in Goldsmith and Wells. And that's a poor kick outside 50 for Ainslie as well. So running back there was Bernasconi. Campbell goes back. Campbell to meet it. And rebound 50 here for Ainslie. Harris plays on. Puts it to the advantage of a runner. Can't take it in Rice. So Hedland to mop up the mess. Hedland handles back. Mills finds Clark. Sorry, it's Burge. He can take a bounce inside the centre square. And he puts it down the line, but he can intercept it once again.
Ill-directed kick there, but read well by, it was captain to captain, Burge to Robert Toohey. So Toohey for Ainslie goes across half back and finds Bowles. Chipping forward. He finds Sean Ellis. Ellis now puts his skates on. Left foot, and a little wide, a little too wide. We almost caught it in the commentary box, so it's out of bounds on the full.
Skills just letting both teams down this last 5 minutes.
Stewart played on quickly for Southport. He got it over to Callanan. He now finds Burge again. Back to Callanan. They're through the corridor. Scrubbing. Oh, that's 8 metres. Play on, says the umpire. Accidentally hit Wade Mills, who goes long. It's a one-on-one in front. Oh, Goldsmith punched away from him. Rode beautifully by Pope. Gets it onto his shoe. Ripping stuff from Fraser Pope under pressure, and another goal for Southport.
Well, how clever was that? Just as he was falling to the ground, he threw the ball to foot and off the outside of his right foot, managed to sneak it through. For another goal for Southport, I think that's their 6th today. Lead back out to 18 points.
Seventh goal and 7th different goal kicker, Liam. So they're spreading the love, as it were.
All individual goal kickers, and Josh Baxter was one of them. I think he's going to remain an individual goal kicker, as well. He's not going to be coming back on the ground, we assume, from the commentary box. But I really like Goldsmith's forward presence. He's always able to make a strong contest, and the ball always spills to a consistent place.
Well, I don't think he's had the impact in terms of marks on the stat sheet, but certainly the contest he's been in, he's brought the ball to the front, which is the most you can sort of ask for from a key forward.
As Southport are going to win this clearance. Is that a high tackle? Umpire says yes. They're screaming for the free kick. So once again, this is Salter. Kicks out wide. Callan. Doubles back, takes his time. Headland once again. Try and find the stat sheet at half time to find how many he's racked up. Between him and Time, there'll be plenty of touches. Here's Pope, and he's taking the mark. Pope looks in.
That'll be 50.
50-metre penalty. What a terrible time to give one away as well, just as the lead's starting to creep out to a dangerous position.
Well, you saw the umpire whistle him up and say back 2 metres, but obviously didn't hear him in the end and got the 50-metre penalty. Should go back and kick this goal, Fraser Pope.
So Pope's already kicked one. He kicked it about 90 seconds ago. So this would be a real dagger for Ainslie. So the lead is already at 4 goals. Fraser Pope goes back, gives it height, and puts it through. Fraser Pope with his second, the first multiple goal scorer of the day for either side, and makes it a 30-point margin as Southport 8-5-53 lead Ainslie 3-5-23.
Well, Will, as you mentioned, they gave away the 50 just when they didn't need to. They've got the lead out to 5 goals now, which is about where we thought it would be for the day, but just it's sort of been disappointing this quarter for Ainslie. They haven't really been able to string any meaningful ball movement together, and Southport have taken advantage of the chances they've had.
Certainly have. So 8-5-53, 3-5-23. 5 goals neat the margin as the umpire brings it back into the middle. Ainslie want to get something going reasonably quickly. It's Walbers for Southport versus Mulroney from Ainslie. It falls in the favour of Southport, even though the ruck contest was a draw. Stewart kicks it up, doing well there. Went over the head of Lucas O'Neill. Ball bounces towards the boundary line. Salter, Southport Salter, gets the handball back to Tyne. Tyne now, onto his left foot. That's a bit of a taut mongrel. Just disposed of there. was Clint Mathis.
Free kick off
Walbers.
the ball. Free kick off the ball here.
Yeah, it'll be Clint Mathis that will take that free kick. Walbers just basically disposed of him to get out of the way. He gets the ball back to Bowles, and that's straight down the throat of Darren Stewart. You could hear the groan of Will Ralston there. Well, it was just fair income, an ordinary kick, and it does frustrate you. Ben Wells takes the mark for Southport. Down the line, Wade Mills now just takes it in front of the interchange gates. Ainslie clogging up this side of the ground, just restricting. They've got the numbers from the corridor all the way to the boundary line and back, so they've got it all covered in defence. Ball goes over the back of the pack. It bounces nicely for Tui. Tui gets the ball back in now. It's with Hayne. Hayne ships it forward over the head of Bowles. Campbell for Ainslie. He's confronted. He picks the ball up. Oh, like there's several players over, and Bowles just plays stacks on the mill, and we'll have a ball up about 60 metres from the Southport goal, the right half forward flank.
So I think it's going to be a ball up right near the boundary line. Over the top there, that was good. Third man up in Callan Geary. It's going to be another ball up. We see Nick Burton playing on pain there. He's been really wrapped up with that blood nose. When the camera points to him, you might get a laugh out of it.
Well, you'd think they'd come up. I heard a conversation about it last week during one of the AFL games, how they haven't come up with a better device to sort of stop the nosebleed rather than just wrapping up the whole face almost.
Surely that's going to be uncomfortable for Burton. So So the ball is spilling around that forward flank. Geary hooks onto the right, but it's going to be chopped off. So this is Vandenberg. It's inside. Clearing kick on the left. Bangs it outside 50. That's a really good kick to Costigan. Running for him was Walker. Didn't honour that option. Walker's still there. They go further down the line. Chopped off well by Callanan. And it's another bandit throw.
So they're moving it well to a point, Ainslie. There was a very risky kick from Nick Hayne, but beautiful delivery in the end. He put some weight behind it, but again, they slowed down with their ball movement once they hit the wing area. It's the throw in. Bowles just gets an arm out to it. The ball is in dispute. Injecting himself now. Geary gets it to Haslam, tackled, stuck underneath them. There'll be a ball up here for sure. Just between wing and half forward, the outer side of the ground. Southport Sharks leading by 5 straight goals here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Well, Michael, you mentioned with that ball movement, it almost seems like Southport are happy to give them up to a point on the ground, but then they just really lock down inside that defensive 50, get a lot of numbers behind the ball.
So again, it's in dispute, middle of the ground here. Picked up there nicely by Mathis, kicks out wide. Is that Hurst who turns on, gets tackled by Time, gets the ball inside 50. Now there's a contest on, showing a little bit of toe there. Ball stuck underneath him. He's not going to be able to get this out, umpire. Please don't call it. He doesn't. There's a ball up, 40 metres out directly in front.
Well, how often do you see those scenarios where you just pray to the umpire, please don't call that holding the ball, because there's nothing you can do there. So ball up inside, Ainslie's 450. Walters wins it out the back. Another strong tackle there by Ainslie. Ball spills free. Another ball up anyway.
Congested play inside the Ainslie forward 50 here.
So no one gets their hand on that one. No one tries to burst through. That was Rice who had hands on it. Very strong tackle on inside 50 here for Ainslie. Kick comes free. Mills is there. Picking it up for Ainslie. Handball comes loosely. Hill takes on the tackler. Little cheeky handball. Well done there. He's going to get it back. So that was Hurst. That ball's kick has gone out of bounds on the feet. It's another poor disposal for Ainslie. It's been letting them down this quarter.
Good few efforts there from Hurst to try and get the ball in, but Southport with all but 3 of their players inside defensive 50. Well, no room to move for the tricolours.
So headland down the line. That's going to go out of bounds on the full as well. So a couple of disposal blunders from either side. So Bowles to take this kick. Puts it to the pocket. No one really to go up, and that's a very strong defensive mark by Merritt. Now he took a step. He looked like he wanted to play on, but the umpire's giving him benefit of the doubt. He links up with Time just outside 50. Troutman's on the lead if he wants him. Little short kick. So Dylan Troutman looks in board, and he's Burton with the face wrapped up as we said before. He can play on. He puts it to the advantage of Goldsmith. Can't take the mark, but Mallon reads it well. Back to Goldsmith. He's got Clark free, but he handballs back. Can't find Burton. That's a bad turnover. Costigan. He can't pick it up. Haslam looks wide for Pope. Pope takes on the tackler in Walker. But Lawless, he has Ellis wide, and he's going to run away with it here. He's got a hectare of space to work with.
If it bounces kindly for him, it's running away from him, but Sean Ellis picks it up. He wants to find a teammate. Nice work there by Stewart. Now Southport with the ball. Clark, oh, the siren goes. He was running inside forward 50. Probably would have steadied and actually drilled it himself, but that'll do us for half time. And it's 5 goals straight here at Fankhauser Reserve. In the second quarter, 4 goals, 3 to Southport, just the one solitary behind to Ainslie. So it's 8-5-53, plays 3-5-23. A 30-point margin at half-time. How quickly how'd you see it, lads?
It's a really interesting quarter once again. There's been the disposal efficiency from both teams has been down at certain points, but Southport really taking advantage of their opportunities, but they've controlled the tempo so far, Liam.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if that's the move that sort of dictates the game. Just that patch where Southport was able to kick, I think, 3 goals in about 5 minutes. Whether that's the sort of passage of play that's going to break the game open, or whether Ainslie can come back in this second half.
Well, it's 21 degrees here on the Gold Coast. Let's see if the boys from the ACT can handle the pressure as it warms up in the second half here at Fankhauser Reserve. It's round 13, near full TV. We'll be back with the second half very shortly. Welcome back to Nearfield TV. This is round 13, live from Fankhauser Reserve at Southport on the beautiful Gold Coast. It's 20 degrees, and for all of the Gold Coast fans, Southport 8-5-53 in front of Ainslie 3-5-23 at half-time. A 30-point margin. It's Michael Price and Will Rawston calling your action, with Liam Dettering, Nearfield, a journalist, with the special comments. Fellas, look, let's be honest, a very scrappy affair in the first half, but the intent is there, and there's a lot of defensive pressure on both sides, isn't there, Liam?
Well, certainly it seems the team that's been kicking to the right of the screen has been really happy to have that loose man sit behind the ball, and Southport used it to great effect there. They're not quite as individual in sort of their having the one behind the ball. It's more their team defence. It seems they've been happy to let Ainslie have the kick sort of up to 60 metres out, and then they've just really locked down on them. And as we've seen on the scoreboard, they've been able to get away to a 5-goal lead, Will.
Yeah, it's a bit scrappy, it's a bit dull, but when the game opens up, teams are able to really hit that into 450. But so many times we've seen Ainslie just with zero targets to hit for, and they just to handle loosely backing and trying to find someone to break free. But we stay just within touching distance. I don't know whether you prefer to press touching distance at half time, but if they can get the first couple here, we could have a game on our hands.
Well, we've seen so many teams just turn around 5-goal leads, even in the game. I think we called 2 weeks ago, there was a 28-point deficit that Redlands had to overturn, and they closed really quickly.
Yes.
So in the NEAFL, certainly there's scope there for big swings in games. So we're hoping that's the case, obviously, here today, and that Ainslie can get right back in this contest in the third quarter.
Well, the way Ainslie are playing their football, with all of the numbers in defence, nobody up forward, basically, it's going to limit the damage, but it's not going to actually win you the game. So let's hope they can find a balance here. In the second half, they're 5 goals straight down as the umpire holds the ball in the air, and here's Will Rawston to call all your actions.
So welcome back to Nearfield TV for the second half. If you just joined us, Sharks up by 5 goals. Warriors can't win that tap. There's Stone down. Warriors in the middle for Southport, and Stone tackle once again.
There's Mathis again.
Headlock almost. That's why we'll ball it up. Vandenberg in the tackle. He's been a prominent player so far for Ainslie.
Well, he'd had 17 touches to half-time, Will, so he's certainly been all over it in the first half.
Probably Ainslie's best player. So that was Hurst that found a bit of space on the forward flank, and it's been trickle out of bounds.
So the leading possession winners of the first half, he had 21 touches to Ben Headland, 17 to Stephen Tyne, so we were right on it with that. And of course, Vandenberg was the leading possession winner for Ainslie.
Well, we've unfortunately been locked out of the iPad that has the stats on it, so we're just waiting to get that.
Vandenberg inside 50, contacts a mark. Here's Payne at the feet of it. Payne finds a bit of space, and he sorts it through. Payne kicks his second, and that could be the catalyst for the comeback we were talking about.
Well, perfect start for Ainslie there, and Payne, as you said, kicked the 2 goals. He's had another couple of opportunities where he's been called quite harshly for incorrect use of his body in the marking contest, but he certainly looks very dangerous. Looks like he's going to be their most likely target up forward, Michael.
Yeah, he knows where the goals are. He's got some form in the NEAFL competition as being an effective forward, and he drills his second for the day. Could have a couple more on the board, as you say, Liam, but it's 4 goals the margin, 4 straight, and they're proving that your prediction that the left of screen was the scoring end.
Quite wrong.
Quite wrong. I think the wind might have turned. I'll give you that one. As the ball goes back into the middle, you've got Walbers for Southport versus Stone of Ainslie. Walbers gets that effectively down, but Stone gets involved again. Ball now with Haslam, kicks it forward for Southport. There's going to be a chase on here. Calling the directions there was Ed Mallon, who picked the ball up, then was immediately tackled by Hayne. Hayne gets the hands across to Utica. Utica now, very short kick. Lawless to the run now of Tui under pressure. Kicks it down the line. Good bit of spoiling play there from Headland, one of the best on the field in the first half. Good bit of work there from Ellis. Ellis now, it's with Mathis. Mathis has a bounce. He runs away from the big fella in Walbers and Haslam. He can go the way himself. Mathis, unselfish, the handball. Will they muck this up? Oh yes, they have. Salter, the great smother for Southport. Payne, he's under pressure again, and Geary will take the mark. How the hell did they mess that one up, Ainslie? The Southport are grateful. The defence will get rid of it. Mills under pressure. It'll go back to Walbers. Can they get the ball out? They can. Headland, he's got nobody in front of him. He pirouettes, and that's ball. No, he lays it down. Umpire said it was okay. Southport with the clearing kick from Mills it was, but Utica has it now for Monica.
I'll give you a breath there, Pricey. Utica, he puts it inboard to Lawless. Chip inside 50, can't hit a target. Once again, they're making some criminal errors up forward. Tyne has a bit of space in the outer flank. Handball over the top to Keller. Bit of relief here for Southport. It was frenetic there for a moment. Time. Left foot kick. Clark's found space again. That's a long kick. Should be an intrusion of the contest. Umpire's going to call advantage. Goldsmith. Handball inside. Grayson. Palms off his opponent. Don't argue. Clark over the top finds Geary. Doesn't take the mark, strangely enough, but it comes back to Clark. He's got Wells. Go over the top of his head. Hill's there as well on the left. Puts it through. Luke Hill. What a strange, strange goal that was.
Well, finally we got a break to go back and talk about what happened there, because it looked like he was running into an open goal for all money. Strangely chose to handball, and then the player receiving the handball chose to flick it on in the one sort of swipe, and they completely mucked it up. Southport have gone back down the other end. Hill's kicked the goal on his left, put it back out to a 5-goal lead. It never should have been if Ainslie had done what they should have and kicked the goal.
Well, Clint Mathis, he had all the run in the world down at the right of screen, had a couple of bounces, he's probably only 20 metres out. He
did so well.
He was trying really hard to drag his teammate into the game, and you can't criticise him for that, but boy oh boy, when you've got that much of a chance in front of you, the game is there to be taken. You've got to put your hand up, take the responsibility, so perhaps Clint Mathis will learn from that one. Ball back in the middle. It's back to a 5-goal margin in favour of Southport. Stone gets up high for Ainslie, gets the tap down, but it's with Burton for Southport. Gets it out wide. Going back with the flight was Hurst. Didn't take the mark, but butted up again. Ainslie should be able to get the ball forward. They do through Lawless. Scrubs it forward though. Southport defence have got this covered, or have they? No, it's picked up by Mathis for Ainslie, and then he loses it. Southport with the ball. Nobody, you must smell, nobody wanted to go near him. And it's now with Burge. Kicks it to right half forward. It's going to bounce in front of Goldsmith. Handles it well and then loses the handle on it. Picked up by Bowles and Ainslie down the outer side. It's going to bounce in front of Vandenberg. The Southport player with the toe will get there in front of him. Did beautifully. So Southport again with the ball in the middle of the ground.
Edmund can't find poise. Turned over once again strangely to Lawless. So this is Harris. Left foot kick inside 50. Payne's there. Good score by Keller. Ball's high. Back to Payne. Could he kick another? Wonderful smother. Beautifully done by Keller. He dives in to take the ball as well. He's just going to be holding the ball. Umpire's going to come in and bounce it up. So Payne with another shot there, but the smother was just enough to deny that goal scoring.
Well, something Keller does really well. We've seen him a number of times perform a really good lockdown role in that sort of dangerous mid-sized forward, and he's doing it again against Payne.
So that was just outside 50.
Decision making vital under pressure, and both sides being exposed to some degree at this point. So the boundary throw in. It's right on where the 50 intersects with the boundary line. We'll have Stone versus Walbers. Stone gets it down, picked up by the Southport defence. It's quick forward. Wells picks it. Oh, scoops it up, does it nicely, and they'll be away. Mallon receives it in stride, has a bounce. He's still got the big fella chasing him. He gets around there, taps the ball on the ground, gives it to Goldsmith. He's tackled immediately, little high. And late as well, and the umpire calls that. He'd already got rid of the ball, and they continued on with the tackle, so the big fella in Jake Goldsmith will have the free kick, and that's well within scoring distance for him. 45 metres out, 45-degree angle.
Well, it's really been quite an intriguing battle all day between Bowles and Goldsmith. It's kind of been break-even, but as we mentioned in the first half, Goldsmith's just competed really well today. Got rewarded there, as you said, for holding on too long. Go back now, 45 metres out. Let's see how he goes.
He wasn't quite the play he wanted to be running inside 50 in pursuit of an opponent there. Goldsmith is a good set shot for goal. He's kicked one today. Just drifts to the left of the goalpost, so it's going to be a -2 for Goldsmith, leading up to 31-point margin. as Ainslie took it out from the goal square. This is Bowles on the outer flank. Doesn't have much to kick to. He's just going to send it high down the line. Probably the Sharks there, they should work it out. They've chopped each other out. First thing for the contest, he's paying, left foot kick, he's got a free man. It was Ward, it's gone over his head. Keller should knock up. He's done well on the last line, Keller. Randall up the top. This is Stewart. He's got Grayson there, takes a good mark. Grayson looks inboard. Headman once again, big possession areas we've been talking about so far. He can affect the switch if he wants it, but he's got Geary in the middle.
That was possession number 25 for Headland, Will.
5 touches for Headman. Geary, good kick onto the chest of Wells. The target's inside 50. Little wants it long. Goldsmith's there as well. Ainslie makes a lead. But Wells goes short to Goldsmith. It was a wonderful kick. Straight to his hands. Goldsmith plays on. He's got Nallen in the forward pocket. Good spoil there in defence by Ainslie. Hills over the top if he wants him. Nallen plays on. Should kick it himself. Goes to Clark. Easy as you like. And Clark becomes another goal kicker for Southport, kicking his first. And the margin is now 37 points.
How many individual goal kickers do we have there now?
Making me count on the pressure. 9.
9. So it's been a terrific spread of contributors for Southport today inside forward 50. Only the one multiple goal kicker. They've spread the load really well and added another goal there. The lead's starting to get away from Ainslie here.
So that was unselfish play there by Eddie Mellon in the forward pocket. He had a check side himself to kick his second. Brings Clark onto the board. He's been pretty effective so far. Off the interchange today, Adam Clark. Including this week.
I'm liking some of the defensive work of Rice and Bowles, Bernastoni when it's down there for Ainslie, but Goldsmith, as you say, is an effective big target and really is a presence.
Well, he's been really good since Baxter went down in the first quarter, so it's been a good effort from him today.
The bounce just favours Walbers, but Mulroney gets the tap down to Ainslie. He picks up his own crumb and a couple of players come together and will ball it up just forward of the centre circles in favour of to the right of screen. Umpire throws it up. Big battle. Walbers picked up there by Rice. He's claimed immediately. Ball gets driven out now. That's Salter. Salter does well. Ainslie now moving it forward through Vandenberg. It's a dangerous kick to the hot spot. Reading it beautifully there was a big fellow from Southport in Stewart hitting the deck, and now they'll move it out through Grayson. Grayson's got a lead on the outer side. He hits him straight on the chest. Fraser Pope now turns onto the right foot to the big fella in Walbers on the outer wing. Dealt with by Mulroney just lightly, but Walbers comes back inboard. Gets the handball out to Keller. Keller wants to measure a pass. Doesn't quite hit him. Puts his player under pressure. Ainslie have the numbers. Oh, but putting himself in nicely there was Cornish. He's tackled. Ainslie now should have the ball through Mathis. It comes through the middle. Nice running there. It's going to end up with Salter. Salter 70 metres from goal. There's nobody up forward. Kicks it basically for touch, and it finds touch in the forward pocket. So that's about the best result they could get if it didn't go through for a goal. We'll have a throw in next to the point post, right next to the Ainslie goal.
Well, it's going to kill him. That's the only option he had, and you can tell he was kicking for touch because there's literally nothing else to go for. So, Fankhauser thrown in the forward pocket. Really roughing it for Ainslie. Ellis is at the feet, but Ellis could sneak it through, and he does. So an unlikely goal for Ainslie. It's the first of the day for Sean Ellis. He's just given them a spark of hope. That takes him to 5-5. 35, still trailing Southport 10-6, 62, it's a 31-point lead. I don't know if they can get it to within 3 or 4 goals by three-quarter time, they could be a sniff, but you're not going to kick many like that. That was pretty unorthodox.
Well, goals like that are certainly going to help them get back in the game, and that was Ellis's 15th touch for the game. NEFL representative member against the Waffle, kicked a nice running goal in that, so that's what he does. You know, he gives you that couple of goals a game from the midfield. He's a really hard worker. You see from his build, he's a nuggety type of player. So, really important goal there for Ainslie just to keep them in touch.
So, ball back down in the middle. Mulroney versus Stewart. Stewart, I'll give that one to him, but it bounces back to Mulroney. So, Ainslie could get the clearance. No, Salter loses the handle of it. So, actually, Regan Salter for Southport and Nick Salter for Ainslie battling for the ball, and we will have a ball up, secondary ball up right next to the centre circles. 31 points in favour of the Sharkies here at Fankhauser Reserve, round 13 of NEFL TV. Centre wing, commentary side. Getting it on the right foot, Vandenberg. Nice mark taken there, diving mark taken by Ian Lawless in front of his opponent.
Lawless coming up for his 21st disposal of the game. He's been one of Ainslie's best.
So Lawless has movement up forward. It looks like Stone is not going to make it. Oh, that's a good mark. Backing into the pack, Clint Mathis. Nice strong set of hands. Takes it right on the 50-metre arc. It's going to be a very difficult kick. Right across, right next to the boundary line. But if they want to break their way back into this game, Ainslie, this is the kind of goal that could lift his side. So Clint Mathis, fair bit of pressure on. He'll let go from just outside 50. The right foot gets good connection. That's a beautiful kick right to the line. It's a goal. Well done, Clint Mathis. What a ripping kick. And that should lift the tricolours. They get a goal closer. And they are 6-5-41. Now only 25 points behind Southport, 10-6-66.
Now, Bryce, I know we don't have any sponsors on the program, but that's certainly the Neefle TV goal today, I think. Just brought that back beautifully. It was a magnificent kick from Mathis. Back into the side today. He'd been out for a couple of games, came back in and given them that. It was a really important goal for them. Keeps them well and truly in touch. 15 points behind now. What are we at?
25, mate.
25.
Take your shoes and socks off if you want to count up to 25.
That really was an impressive kick.
He just struck it beautifully and it drifted nicely across the face, didn't it?
I think he would have had a face ball as well.
Rice is coming off.
Towards the commentary side, off the ground. Wonderful kick by Clint Mathis. So let's hope for the competition of the game. That one's going to bring Ainslie back in. 25 points more. Cut down the deficit from half time. Davies again gets his hands on it. That's a big contest. He goes well and he needs a free kick for his troubles. So Geary in the centre of the ground. With the bright orange boots, he plays on. Gets player wide. It's Clark. He's been busy out there on the wing. Clark puts it inside 50. Goldsmith's there and he plucks it. And that's what he does best. In a one-on-one situation like that, you're almost back him.
Well, he's just started to really take control of this game in this third quarter. He's had a couple of really good contests, a couple of shots at goal, really strong mark taken there, and you'd expect him to go back and kick this.
So he's only kicked the one so far, Jake Goldsmith. Give him credit for a few more from his teammates. He comes in, struts it pretty sweetly, and so he kicks his second, instant required from Southport, and pushes it back out to a 31-point lead. So here at Fankhauser Oval, the Southport Sharks are 11-6-72, leading Ainslie 6-5-41. Halfway through this third quarter.
It's like a shining light up forward for Southport, isn't he? He's just almost head and shoulders physically above the Ainslie defence. He's doing it quite well. He's providing a very effective target. And when, as you said before, Will, when he's not taking the ball in his hands, he's actually dropping it front and centre, giving it a...
Well, without Baxter, he's just so critical to Southport's forward line. He's their one focal point up there now.
31 points the margin in favour of Southport. That's Hill up against Mulroney. I'll give it to Hill, but Ainslie have the ball. Clearance with Nick Salter, the left foot, inside 50. Good contest. Ball goes over the back of the pack, leading the chase. Headland, leading possession winner, just gets his hands to the ball. Handball as tackled over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in the right forward pocket.
And Pricey, Ainslie have had the luxury of leaving Salter in the forward line for most of the year, but now with the game on the line, they've thrown him into the midfield just to try and get a bit more from him.
You'd have to, as the boundary throw-in comes in. It was picked up by Ellis. Now Southport have the ball. They clear it. That's a wobbly one towards Mulroney. It's a juggling chest mark. He holds it up. He did well, the big fella. He takes it for Ainslie. He's got somebody inside the centre square. He finds him. That's Nick Kane, who turns and goes. Left foot to the hot spot. Southport with the defensive numbers. That's a great defensive mark again. And they'll clear it. Oh, but just overcooked the kick, so we'll have a boundary throw in. Again, some of the skills just not quite there, 100%, 98%.
They just don't have any targets up all around here tonight. The most dangerous goalkeepers for them so far are Payne and Ellison. So they're not going to be taking screens down there in those high kicks. As the boundary throw inside, Ellison's taken high, holding the ball, says in the corner. Unlucky there for Ellis. So Headland once again tries to affect the switch. space to kick into for Grayson if he wants to, so he finds his teammate and comes in. Good mark. Mills is running for him. So Mills on the wing, could take it. That was a courageous contest there, backing into the oncoming opponent. Finds it in the middle. He's got Pope spreading for him out wide if he wants it. He's heading. And this is going to be Stewart. Stewart now finds Pope. Moving for them now. Geary. Should find a target inside 50. Just. So this is going to be Clark on the edge of the 50. Looks in board and finds Pope. That was beautifully done.
Well, how hard did he work? He provided the option here on centre wing and just pushed forward, floated into the forward 50, took a mark about 35 metres down on a slight angle, and Pope has kicked one today, one or two today, so he's going back for his third goal of the game.
Just surgical in there. Finding those kicks, cutting apart the Ainslie defence. And the kick from Clark to Pope was a very effective one. Pope lets him down, and that goes well wide. He's out in the field. Might change. Ainslie's still under plenty of pressure. I really want the next goal to keep him within touching distance of this guy. Might just slip away from him.
Well, we're trailing by the 31 points here in the third term. As Ainslie bring the ball back in. This is another big kick by Bowles. Big pack flies through the hands of Mulroney. It bounces over the back. Eric Stone, the 100 gamer, gets the handball in traffic. Now getting through Ellis. Ellis onto the left foot. It's a one-on-one inside their forward line. It falls in front of Fleming. He's got Wade Mills. The ball bounces kindly for Fleming. He puts on the afterburners. The outside of the right foot, if you don't mind. Oh, how close was that? Oh, almost pulled off the goal of the day as well, Ainslie. But
almost contender for goal of the year from what I've seen so far.
Southport will bring it in. It's out to a 30-point margin.
Henry once again.
Well, he's up to 28 now, Will. Him and Grayson have been superb at half-back. 28 disposals for Headland, 20 for Grayson. They've been instrumental.
So Regan Salter finds Clark. Once again, he's got a paddock in front of him. He decides to look inboard for Troutman. Can't find him. Ball goes over the top. Mathis cleans up. Well done by Geary. Loose handball back. This is Bella. Doubles back. Looks for Grayson inside 50 and hits him. So Todd Grayson. He's kicked one goal today as well.
Well, I think that was Callanan who delivered the ball in there for Southport.
I saw the 4 in the city.
Yeah.
So, kicked by Callanan. Just a little chip over the top to find Todd Grayson. He'll kick from about 50 metres out. And this would really make the job difficult for Ainslie. At the moment, it's 5 straight goals the lead. Looks good off the boot. Oh, just drifts at the last moment. So that's a minor score for Southport. 11-7, 73. They've been quite accurate today. 6-6-42. Big kick in there. That was Bowles.
He's got a great shoe on him. The outer wing. Juggling effort there by the Southport player. Now Haslam taps it in front of himself. Tackled under pressure there from Walker. Still goes inside 50 for the Sharks. Geary's going to be leading in the chase for the ball. Towards the boundary line, Geary underneath it could have caught something high there. Umpire is going to say holding the ball. So he got in there first, but he just camped himself over the ball, did Geary. Ainslie will get the free kick. This will be Ash Harris in the back pocket.
They've been consistent with those holding the ball free kicks today, the umpires.
That's right, if you're diving on the ball and you're not making the obvious effort to get it out, then they will ping it. Southport will win the ball now. Hill is going to go up to half forward. The big fly, Geary, nice mark. He wants to play on straight away. Shoots the handball across. It's picked up there by Cornish. Cornish now, he gets back to him. And long. And a goal.
That was a great finish.
Over to Burge. Well done. So when they do move the ball quickly inside their, around their forward 50 arc, they've got the advantage, Southport. They've got some nippy players, and Captain Burge puts his second goal on the board for the day.
Someone in the car park loved that one.
Absolutely. Giving the horn a workout.
And Geary has been very effective this quarter. I think he racked up almost 6 or 7 minutes alone.
It was just very classy, wasn't it? from Geary, just able to feed the handball out to Burge, who was running through the 50 unopposed and finished off really nicely there for Southport. 37-point lead now.
I just feel that's going to be too much for Ainslie. They haven't kicked many clinical goals today. They've just come from advantageous opportunities just along the ground and spills of the contest. They really need someone to step up in the forward line if they're going to make a show of it. Because Hill needs to tap him up. Geary once again, and Hill just doesn't quite get his hands on it. He does now. He can't do a thing wrong this quarter. Geary puts it inside 50. That was a poor kick. But Clark still works it out, has a shot for goal on the right. Just bounces too high, bowls, mops it up. He's got Hurst. Just wide if he wants him. Oh, it's a bad spill, but it should work out fine for Ainslie. White pick it up there, Vandenberg. Good hands though, releases his teammate Mathis. Mathis straps into the tackle. Now he's back to Vandenberg.
Look at the numbers there for Southport. 3 on 1. There's not much option for the Ainslie players to get the ball, let alone feed it out.
Ball up in the country. Vandenberg picks it up, puts it onto the left. O'Neill can't take the mark. So Southport turn it over. Hill. He goes to Grayson. Campbell goes back to Salter. Grayson. Now he can pick it up. Taken by... Oh, Ainslie should have communicated, but it still works out fine. So that's where it's going. Campbell's back to Harris. To Utica. Haynes. This should go down the line. Oh, it's a very poor kick. No one intercepts. Plays on. Takes on the tackler. Finds Goldsmith. He's got no one there. He finds a teammate. So it's going to be Wells in the pocket. The handball of Burge. Wells can't get to his feet, and so we'll have a ball up in his pocket. Another opportunity.
Well, it was a lazy kick from Hayne, wasn't it? It was very laconic. He was sort of leaning back on it and nearly cost him another goal there.
So the ball up, left forward pocket for the Sharks. Goldsmith gets the tap down, picked up by Clark. He's disposed of, so Ainslie end up with the ball through Sean Ellis. He's under pressure, holding the ball. You're gone, son. 40 metres out directly in front of the Southport goal. And they can inflict a little bit more pain here. The free kick looks like it's going to go to Tyler Cornish, is it? So good tackling there, but Sean Ellis just biting off a little bit more than he could chew. The awareness inside defensive 50.
The awareness of Pope, he took a step there, like he was about to play on, just threw the hand up to say, Cornish is going to take this one.
So Cornish comes in, should be able to drill this through. He's directly in front of goal, makes the goal umpire work a little, but the Southport players like it. They get around him and they extend their lead, the Sharks, 13-7, 85 to Ainslie, 6-6-42. It's a 43-point margin here, third term on Nearful TV.
18th disposal today for Tyler Cornish. He's been pretty good for them. A really good young player. He won a Rising Star nomination last year, and he's been brought back in. He spent a lot of time as a top-up player for the Suns this year, but I'm sure Southport are really happy to have him back into their side today.
So after a pretty competitive first quarter, it's been nothing but Southport. They've extended their accurate day so far today, 13-7, 85, and a good output from them. I feel this home ground factor has been pretty significant. Getting his hands on it was Cornish, the goal kicker. Going to run the ball up inside the centre square. So the lead's still 43 points. If you're joining us late, Nick Baxter got injured in the first quarter, so it's been just Goldsmith up fortunate in terms of tall targets. Mills from the centre, from the clearance. That wide for Cullen, ball bounces untimely for him, he still tackles and they've got numbers there, Southport. Spills out, there's Walker. Kick is loose, so Mallon cleans it up. Picks up the loose ball, Mallon. Takes on the tackler. That was a good kick as well. So bangs inside 50. Ainslie in the forward line, paying contact with Brad. Ainslie comes out to time. A loose kick as well. Headland. Makes the most of it. And so that is going to be Jake Keller on the outside. Handles inside to Mills, and they should attack from it.
They should. Wade Mills has a runner inboard. Wasn't a bad handball, ended up with Cornish again. In behind the left foot. Nice mark taken there by Adam Clark. He wheels around, the right foot wants to measure a pass. Goldsmith with the one mid actually dislodges the ball, did well. Wells throws himself into the contest, he's bulldogged to the ground. Umpire will say we'll ball it up 45 metres directly out from the Southport goal. Just having a look at Ben Headland, just raised up his 30th touch before in the back line. He's taken 15 marks today. Throw up, Mulroney gets it down for Ainslie, battling hard. Again, it's stuck under several, and we'll do it all again about 3 metres closer to the Southport goal.
Headland's just been a beneficiary of those loose kicks going through by Ainslie, and he's done really well to clean up all of those mistakes. His Clark once again, he's been an X factor today. Tries to do too much, and he could get punished for it. Ball comes loose, well done Cornish. Comes out to Burton. His handball doesn't meet a target. Umpire's seen something here.
Looks like it's behind the play.
Free kick to Clark.
I think there was a little frustration from Clint Mathis on Adam Clark there, back where he was initially tackled.
Okay, fair enough then. So, Clint Clark, another one of the improvements today. He's kicked 1 goal so far. He's found plenty of space on the wings. Doesn't look confident in his ability to find the journey. So Callum's trying to make a run for him. Clark gives him plenty of height. It's drifting across the face. Goldsmith! Towers above the pack. Takes quite a comfortable mark, to be honest.
That ball looked like it just held up, a little bit of a gust of breeze there.
Well, they're sort of those inexcusable marks. Ainslie had 3 around him.
And 50. That's undisciplined for Ainslie. It's the last thing they need to give him those stupid 50s like that. So Goldsmith is the only one who read it. And he pops through his 3rd goal of the day. The leading goal kicker on the ground in the absence of his Batman and Robin partner Baxter. So he's done a good job today, Goldsmith. He's been a towering target up forward. And Southport continue to kick away.
Guys, just if we look at a number of the key stats today, you'd almost think it's been a pretty even contest despite the scoreboard. Ainslie winning the contested ball by 8. They're also winning the clearances, winning the hit-outs, and they're only just down in the inside 50s, but Southport have been far more efficient going forward, and they've managed to open up a 47-point lead.
I think that it basically has been an even contest. It's just Ainslie's forward line isn't functioning anywhere near the efficiency of Southport.
And they're robbing people to pay, Paul, we keep saying, with the extra defenders back. As Mulroney, who's doing okay in the ruck, Lawless, picks the ball up, speculating handball. Bernasconi puts himself in for Ainslie, but picked up by Mellon for Southport. Bernasconi, again, could have been taken high. Ball is stuck underneath several, and we'll have a ball up there. We've got about 14 odd players around the ball next to the centre circles. We've got the Southport Sharks leading by 47 points here in the 3rd term. Umpire throws it up. Mulroney punches it forward. Mellon sticks the hand out, controls it, goes for the no-look handball, misses the target. It bounces very fortunately for Headland, who the ball just can't avoid the man. Gets it over to Mills it was. Ill-directed kick. Hurst. Long down the line. He wants to find his teammate in Ellis. Nice grab taken there. Long inside 50. Oh, is Pope coming back in defence? Southport with the numbers. Good spoil there. Front and centre was Wells. He's tackled. Ball spills and the siren goes for 3/4 time. And it's a 47-point margin at 3/4 time in favour of the home team, the Southport Sharks. It's 14-7-89, playing 6-6-42. And asserting their authority there in the 3rd term. William, the Southport Sharks, just using their chances a little bit more than Ainslie are at the moment.
Certainly, Price. As we just mentioned, a bit more efficiency going forward. We'll just give a quick wrap-up of some of the leading stat getters for the game. Headland, 31 disposals, 15 marks. Grayson, 24. Tyne, 23. And Mills, 21 for Southport. For Ainslie, it's been Lawless and Vandenberg in the middle, who've been the 2 main contributors with 23 and 22 respectively, while Sean Ellis has 18 and a goal. So we can just see there a couple of players for Southport off halfback have been quite instrumental for them.
And the multiple goal kickers so far. Jack Goldsmith for Southport has 3, Pope and Birch have 2 apiece, while for Ainslie it is only the 2 for Payne. So we're going to leave here at Fankhauser Reserve for 3/4 time. It's a 47-point lead to the Southport Sharks, and we'll join you on the other side of this break on Norfolk TV.
Welcome back to Near Full TV. Round 13 action live from Fankhauser Reserve, Southport. It's the Sharks versus Ainslie at three-quarter time. A 47-point margin in favour of the Sharks. Michael Price and Will Ralston calling your action, and Liam Dethering with the special comments. Here's Will.
So, Southport kicking to the right-hand side of the screen for this last quarter. First and quarter, Salty was taken high, pushing the back. So only the first clearance of this quarter as well. Hands it off to Geary, looks for the target inside 50 for Goldsmith. Could have been given the mark.
He's caught one. He's caught one, I think, on the head.
He's clutching his eye as well as puts it to the pocket. That's good body work there by Hill. Oh, taken high as well. That's a free kick, so a lot of feeling in the first.
Well, was that a square up for the unintentional one on Goldsmith?
Possibly. I think he might have popped a finger in the eye or something like that. Goldsmith, he's not comfortable. As the Ainslie kick goes out of bounds off hands, we'll have a boundary throwing 50 metres out.
While that was going on, you had Lawless versus Wells in the middle as well. So there is a little bit of niggle here, as Ainslie probably feel they just are letting the game slip away from them. Southport 47 points, or 49 points in front. As Mulroney gets the tap down at scrub forward for Ainslie. Grayson does well, stretches. Ball stuck underneath him. What's the umpire going to do here? He makes an attempt to get it out. Vandenberg on his back, and there will be a ball up just on the commentary side. Clubhouse side here at Southport. Beautiful venue. Walbers gets the ball out, and it's taken by Dale Walker, in fact, and kicks it forward for Ainslie. It's bouncing into free territory in the middle of the ground. Haslam gets there first, picks it up, gets the handball smothered there by Hurst, who did well. Slaps it forward. Haslam gets back involved and takes the ball back off Hurst. He grabs it and gets slung to the ground. Umpire will ball it up 45 metres out from the Ainslie goal.
That was good from Hurst.
It's persistence, wasn't it?
Made a contest of it. So free ruck tap there from Mulroney. Geary finds his captain, Burge. He draws the player in, does well, gives it back to Geary. Bit of run now, it's going to kick to Wells. Hamill's back. Burge once again, they're just all linking up well at the moment. So, good time here to make a decision. Not much happening inboard, so he goes inside 50, can't find Mallon, he can find Mallon. Ball just did enough, so Mallon wheels around, puts it to the top of the 50 for Geary. Wallace does well defensively, Wells picks it up beautifully, Hill tries to take on the tackler, he's thrown that one out. Bit ambitious as Mathis. Is he going to be mowed down? Great tackle by Grayson, holding the ball every day of the week.
But we saw what's been their problem for the whole day, just no targets up forward. He took a couple of seconds to try and size it up, and in that moment, from behind, Grayson came in and made the tackle on Vandenberg there.
That was Vandenberg who was mowed down by Grayson.
And for a halfback to have 3 shots at goal for the day, he's just had far too much space to get forward.
So Todd Grayson, who's kicked one today, just outside 50. It'd be a massive kick if he can do it. It's going to drift across the face, spoiled over the line, so we'll have advantage there.
Well, distance was always going to be the issue. He just got very close to the man on the mark there, which sort of forced him to kick it up a bit higher in the air. And in the end, not a bad result. They've got another stoppage, another chance to set up and see if they can get a score from this inside 50.
So Southport's forward pocket. Walbers is underneath it. No ruck can get their hands on it. Ainslie defender is wrapped up, and so it's going to be a ball up. 14-7-91, still leading 6-6-42. Off the ground, a bit of a fresh air from the Ainslie defender. Ball comes loose, Geary's there, so's Burge. He takes on a few tacklers. Burge does brilliantly. He kicks his third of the day. He joins Goldsmith, 3 goals apiece. Just directing traffic there, Burge somehow found a bit of open space and finished to perfection.
Well, that's terrific. It's what Burge does. He just gets separation from those stoppages, and just that little burst of speed got him out of congestion. Just managed to have time, got onto his right foot, and as you mentioned, Will came in and kicked his 3rd goal of the day. Southport really starting to put the foot on the throat now. 55
points the margin as the Ainslie midfield and ruck combination have a little bit of a meeting in the middle of the ground. It's need some affirmative action as the Sharks, as you say, Liam, quite rightly so, putting the foot on the throat of the tricolours. So it's 5th versus 6th on the,
Sixth versus seventh.
7th on the near full ladder. So this could propel Southport forward with a greater percentage.
Which is only set to increase as well, with Ainslie's also coming down.
So they should leapfrog Ainslie after this game, you'd think.
You would hope so, unless the maths isn't working. So throw up now. Mulroney versus Wolbers. I'll give that one to Mulroney. Nick Salter did well. He battled a couple of players out of the way, and then Fraser Pope came in and gave him an effective bump as well. So it was a bit of a stalemate in the middle of the ground. Sharkies leading by just short of the 10 goals. Another throw up. Give that one to Wolbers. It's taken by Lawless. Lawless scrubs it forward for Ainslie. Picked up there by Harris. Harris around the corner, inside 50. It bounces for Keller. Can he control it? He does well. Tackled though. Affected the handball. Hurst with the left foot. And Ainslie score a timely goal. His first, Jeremy Hurst. And they're 7th, so it's 15-7, 97 plays 7-6, 48.
Really, you'd just like to see them sort of have a good last quarter here to carry that momentum into next week, because so often you hear about coaches saying you sort of start the next game the way you finish, and they've got another really big game next week against the league leaders Sydney, so they'll want to be carrying some form of momentum into that. As you said, a really nice finish from Hurst. Let's just hope that that sort of signals the start of some sort of a comeback here for Ainslie.
So this win for Southport is going to take them to 7 wins, and they're going to join Ainslie and Redland, their good mates Redland, on 7 wins apiece. Redland is still 1 game behind them. Redland and Southport have had some great contests so far this year. Redland winning both of them against Bergen's tackling inside the centre square. It's going to be another baller.
Well, certainly there's a lot of upside in Southport's draw. They haven't they've faced Redlands twice at their home ground, so they've still yet to host Redland as well as Ainslie for the second time. So plenty to look forward to for Southport on the back of this result.
As Ainslie come away from the contest there, that was good work by the midfielder there in O'Neill. Hurst, strong last quarter is Hurst. Bursting through is Campbell. Strong tackle on here. Throw this one up again.
There is some feeling out there.
Well, if you can't beat them on the scoreboard, just smother them on the ground.
That's right. Jason Berg tried to remove a couple of players there. Throw up with the umpire, missed by both ruckmen. Oh, getting right in and under there is Nick Salter for Ainslie. Again, a very tight contest. Fraser Pope for Southport also putting his body in. Ruckman go at it again. Wolbers knocks it forward, actually in favour of Ainslie's. Picked up by, it was Headland again, another touch, yet another touch, as who was it, Burton got absolutely belted on top. Ball stuck underneath. Umpires pulled something out here. He's having a chat.
Well, that's twice Haslam's just been jumped on top of. But
he's putting himself in the position where he's putting himself in front. He's putting his body in, so he's actually drawing those free kicks.
And they're away here through Cornish as well.
That was a great kick by Haslam to find Cornish. He's got plenty of run. He's going to look for Goldsmith once again, as they've done all day. Goldsmith leading his opponent in goals. Loose handball. He's going to pick it up once again to Clark. He's been dangerous as well. Tyne, handball back to Goldsmith. Could he wheel around and have a shot? He's not very agile, is Goldsmith, but that is a wonderful pick-up by Tyne. On the left, check side.
Hit the wrong side of the foot. Well, he just hit the wrong side of his foot. He wanted the outside and got the inside.
Got the instep instead. So Mallon couldn't believe his luck. He thought he was going to take a mark, but it's been spoiled out of bounds. So another boundary thrown right next to the behind post.
And again, we wait because the umpire can't get the ball.
Seems like a strange rule, that one.
Can't just bend over and
lean over the fence.
No, that's a shame.
So lucky that bystander was there to retrieve the ball as the umpire throws it in. Hill wins the tap down. Geary applies the tackle. The umpire's going to see it followed up again.
A lot of numbers back for Ainslie and defence. Thrown up again, Mulroney hits it back towards the goal. Dangerous position because Goldsmith picked it up. Luckily for Ainslie, he was tackled, the ball spills, and then it's underneath several. We'll have another ball up, just a metre or two closer to the Southport goal.
Well, Ainslie's just going to have to be careful here because Geary was thrown off the ball. The umpire missed it. Lucky to get away with that one.
Geary again taken without the ball, and as if Nostradamus to my left here in Liam Dedring has predicted, Geary will take the free kick for being slung without the ball. Amazing.
That was actually amazing that you called that.
So Callan Geary.
Well, I just saw it on the one before, and then the second time we see it again. Umpire's not missing 2 in a row.
The close checking. So Geary comes in, tries to curl it around, and lucky to just push it in for a behind when, yeah, he put it right across the face of goal. So now it's a 50-point margin.
It's a bit silly from him. He didn't need to
Nothing wrong with a drop punt from there.
completely go for it.
Just asking.
Well, so many players these days favour that sort of check side, and I know Jason Dunstall's one who's not very happy about it.
No, and he scored 1,200 of them in the AFL, so he'd know what to do.
Stewart puts it deep to the goal square, but it's going to be rebounded by Ainslie. Here's Fleming in the pocket. Down the line, Grayson can't take the mark. Meets his own ball. Grayson does really well. Handball out to Troutman. Looks over the top to Time. Loose handball out the back. Time met by a few tacklers. He does about 360s. Picked up well there by Salter once again. High kick. It's going to go out the full.
No, it was already out. He just took it out.
So we'll have a throw in. Ball's gone into the car park. Again, your bystanders. Actually, a family that's just unloading the SUV, and I think it's Mum who's got the ball, and she delivers a beautiful. Actually, the little girl just delivers a beautiful.
And the celebration, if you don't mind, afterwards.
Very well done indeed. So the boundary line throw in will come between wing and half forward for Southport, leading this one by 50 points. Final term, round 13 here on Nearful TV. The Ainslie player came through very, very hard, was Costigan, picking it up Grayson. He flicks it out, again stuck under several. Nice tackle there by Costigan again. So the ball will be thrown up by the umpire. A half forward line thrown back to him by Dylan Troutman, who's at the bottom of that pack. Ruckman go at it. Mulroney just...
That's about the 5th time
it.
we've seen Mulroney just absolutely batter the ball out of the middle.
Costigan.
Deliberate?
Well,
maybe.
That was just a very ordinary kick. Very ordinary and tired kick, scrubs it forward. And again, we'll have a throw in, actually only a couple of metres up from where it was the first time.
Stalker!
Throw in. Avoids both. Ruckman bounces over the back. It's picked up by Cornish. Runs inside 50. Hits it left and it stays left. One behind results. So we're up to 51 points. 15,999. Plays 7-6. 48 here at Fankhauser Reserve.
Cornish has been a good inclusion today. He's seriously got wheels when he finds with free space.
He's certainly one of their most talented juniors. I know they're really excited to have him in the side at any chance. They managed to steal him from the Suns.
So that was clever by Bowles. I don't think he quite intended that kick to as well as it did. So this is Lawless. Chip out wide to a teammate. Ainslie well down at the moment, still 51 points. They'd like to kick a few to finish this game off. Like Liam was touching on before, there's a bit of momentum heading into next week. Well, it hasn't quite done them justice as a strong mark is taken by Tui. Handball comes off, ball goes inside 50. Was that a hold by Utica? It's there as well. A couple of players contest this one in the forward pocket. The umpire is going to see that one thrown up once again.
But again, they've sort of looked to empty out their 50 all day and just run back, but the kicks never sort of got over the back. It's sort of just been that one in front, and Southport's been able to defend it quite easily all day.
Yeah, he comes away with the contest quite easily. Here's there in pursuit of the big ruckman. Hill does really well, pushes it out to the advantage of Goldsmith. Can he take on the opponent? He delivers a little handball, taken without it. Surely, umpire. Mallon wanted a free kick, doesn't get it. So mopping up are the Ainslie defenders. O'Neill, little chip over the top to Bowles. He'll have to go back to O'Neill, and we can set up from here.
He looks for and finds Bernasconi. He grabs it. Must have been touched off the boot, and he was tackled after he took the ball. The umpire will ball it up at half forward for the Southport Sharks. Wolbers gets the tap down, taken nicely there. Ainslie defence moving the ball nicely now. Bouncing through the middle. And a nice chipping pass.
Surely over the shoulder. Wrong
Absolutely
side from
should
the
have been.
umpire.
It was not to the advantage side of the Ainslie attacking player in Sean Ellis. But Southport, regardless, bring the ball away nicely. That's a beautiful looking kick.
Grayson again.
Dylan Troutman brings it in to Tyne. Tyne took the mark and then was adjudged to have played on. He slipped over as he tried to pull up from perhaps taking a step or two.
I think you're being very
on.
kind, Pricey. He was off well and truly and then slipped over. So well called by the umpire.
It's like an emu when it tries to actually stop and turn in the same action. You're not going to keep your feet. Mulroney gets it down, taken by Costigan. He's grabbed, gets the handball out. Vandenberg scrubs it forward. That was Ward. Gets it over there to Salter, long inside 50. Southport have got it covered. Wade Mills just sat under it, took a nice chest mark, easy. He's got a couple of numbers in the middle he might look for here.
So Wade Mills at the dying moments of this game. This is Nick Burton. He was well strapped up in the second quarter. He seems to have lost that strapping, which I'm sure he'd appreciate. That kick goes over the head. Geary does well. Geary's been very busy in the second half. So the chip comes over, Burge is underneath it. It's very strong hands. He's got running inside Callanan. Callanan can play on here. Will he have a shot for goal on the left foot? Callanan on the run, puts it through the middle. That is superb stuff from Zach Callanan.
Gave a bit of a celebration there as well. Looked a bit interesting.
Nice. The old chicken on the hand on the head. Chicken celebration.
But it was just the perfect player to have running in.
Oh, it's the shark. That's the shark fin. That's what it is. The shark fin celebration. First time I've topped that. We got that advice from Sharks legend Jason Cotter, who just told us that's exactly what it was. Nice work.
But Burge just got it to the perfect player there, didn't he? He was set up for the left footer and Callanan finished off really well. And then, as we heard, the shark celebration. Something they bring out during party time, I think.
I think so.
And it is party time now as the lead is pushed well past that 50-point barrier. 16-9, 105. Southport leading Ainslie, 7-6-48.
As the umpire brings it down in the middle, and we'll have Wolbers versus Mulroney. It's a draw. It drops to the feet of Mulroney. That was a throw. Regardless, Salter gets it forward. Puts it in the path of Ward. Good defence there again from Stewart. He pirouettes, gets the handball out wider. Now they want to move it again quickly. Chipping ball up forward. Just waiting for the contact there was the Southport player in Ed Mellon. He turns around, he ends up with the ball anyway. Kicks it inside 50 and it was Jake Goldsmith was nudged underneath the ball, says the umpire, by Damien Bowles, and will take the free kick and unleash from about the 50-metre arc. Liam, how'd you see that?
Well, you know, if you put the hands in the back, you're sort of just asking for it to be given, and it was pretty obvious, even though it didn't really impact the contest. I was more interested in Eddie Mellon's reaction, though, to that ball going over his head. He sort of looked like a deer lost in the headlights there.
Yeah. So Goldsmith, who's kicked 3, can become the leading goal scorer on the field. He'll let go from 50. Starts it right, stays there, one behind results. So 16-10, 106, plays 7-6-48.
And even though Goldsmith's kicked his 3 today, he's also kicked 3 behind, so he hasn't quite made the most of the opportunities he's been given today.
Goldsmith wasn't even going to take that much. So from the pocket they unload. And it's travelled out of bounds as well. So the lead has pushed out to 58 points, I believe. As the scoreboard gets updated. As we have another down going on the Southport forward flank. Underneath this calendar, Wells is there, good tackle, here's Lawless, bursting through traffic, ball spills free, Wells puts it inside 50 with a handball, there's Fleming, doubles back, grubby little kick, how's that for a slips catch? So, not much presented for Ainslie, so he just goes blindly down the line. Oh, coming across with a kick, couple of Southport players in pain is Stewart as Pope. Oh, he's cleaned up after he's kicked it. A couple of Southport players really struggling here on the commentary wing. This Callan handballs to Goldsmith, running inside for an open goal, and he pops through his fourth.
Is it Todd Grayson and Darren
It just
Stewart?
looks like a cramp for Grayson, a bit more serious for Stewart. Just looks like a bit of a head knock.
He doesn't know where he is. Yeah.
64 points the margin now.
But as we were keeping an eye on that, Southport just strolled through like a training drill, and Goldsmith kicked his fourth of the day.
So it's gone past that 10-goal margin, which takes it straight into shellacking territory here at Fankhauser Reserve. The final term, round 13, the Southport Sharks over the Ainslie Tricolours. And this is, well, it's a disappointing way for Ainslie to finish, but it was building to this. Southport building to this all the way through.
Well, they've sort of gotten better as the game's gone on, certainly, I think. And they're just showing it in this last quarter. With the intensity sort of gone out of the game a little bit, they've really got on top in the midfield.
Haslam gets a high free kick from the umpire, so Southport with the ball again, and they've got some numbers out wide. Haslam finds a teammate in Tyler Cornish, who has been good today. So Cornish, Ainslie with all of the numbers back, puts it inside 50, looking for Goldsmith. It goes over the heads of he and his opponent in bowls, over the boundary line, and we'll get a throw in the forward pocket. As long as we get a good Samaritan to go down and pick the ball up ASAP. Young fella jumps out of the ute, grabs the ball, and we will have that throw in the forward pocket.
Free kick count would be heavily in Southport's favour in this last quarter. Very sloppy tackling efforts made by the Ainslie players.
Is fatigue a factor with the heat? It's 20-odd degrees today. It's barely a winter's day here in Queensland.
Possibly. This Goldsmith spins out of trouble. He's had another shot for goal. He's put through his fifth. Oh, Goldsmith. Just when we were slating him a bit for his accuracy, he possibly should have kicked 6 goals today. He's notched up a bag.
Well, he should have kicked 8, Will. But that was on the left as well. A really nice finish on the opposite foot there from Goldsmith. Didn't know he had that in the kit bag, but just showed us he's got plenty of skill in both feet, and added his 5th goal of the day. It's been a really good performance from him, especially as we've mentioned a number of times through the day after Baxter went down. He's really stepped up and had probably, I'd say, his best game of the year.
So this margin is now starting to look very ominous. Southport 18-10, 118, dominating Ainslie 76-48. It's a 70-point margin now, Michael.
Very, well, I suppose, again, we thought that was what it was going to get to, as Walbers gets the tap down. Haslam out wide, onto the left foot inside 50. He's got Geary running for him, judging it well. Bernasconi for Ainslie taps it over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in in the left forward pocket. 70-point margin.
And again, we just see all the numbers now in Southport's forward half of the ground. Literally no one in Ainslie's half.
So it's going to be a congested finish to the game here at Fankhauser Reserve as the boundary umpire throws it in. Mulroney gets a tap down to his feet. He actually picks it up himself, gets tackled, ball spills, and the umpire will hug himself. We'll do it all again. 30 metres from the Southport goal.
With about 30 people around it.
Well, look, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So there's all bar 9 players inside the Southport forward 50. As the ball's picked up, their handball shot out in traffic. It's going to be collected by the Ainslie defence. As Lawless gets his foot to the ball, kicks it out, and that's a good strong.
And that was always going to be the problem, wasn't it? Just with all those numbers back inside defensive 50, they didn't have that release option outside 50 for the quick kick.
It's going to get pumped back inside 50, over the head of Goldsmith. I think that's Bernasconi who took the mark for Ainslie, and he's out through Costigan.
So Ainslie rebound is going outside, but here's Keller, does brilliantly. His teammate in Haslam just outside 50, looks for a target and finds one. Regan Salter, he hasn't kicked a goal today.
That'd make it 12. So 12 for the day.
Individual goal kicker.
Yep. And that was just a really good kick from Haslam. Just beautiful vision. Just spotted out Regan Salter with ease. And now he goes back in his attempt to be Southport's 12th individual goal kicker of the game.
And how about the bulldozing effort of Jake Keller to just take on the player who is meant to receive the kick? Regan Salter. Pushes it to the right. It's a disappointing finish from him. He stretches out the calves as a few players out there are just starting to cramp up in the going stages of this one.
So it's 71 points the margin now as Robert Toohey brings it back in for Ainslie. Big kick. Good fly there from Mulroney, who's battled hard today in the ruck. Goes off his hands and will be over the boundary.
Well, he's certainly been one of their best. I think he may have just edged the contest there with Wolbers, and certainly Vandenberg's been terrific, and Lawless had a really good first half and third quarter, but just not enough contributors on the day, I think.
Across the board, I think Southport have been stronger. Strolling into goal there, the left foot from Wells. Oh, just wide, and one behind result. So they're just peppering away at the goals now. The Southport Sharks, 8-12, 120. Play 7-6-48 now, out to 72 points.
So Bowles lets go of another absolute barrel.
Oh, Mills.
That's a great mark by Will. Wade Mills over the back. He's got Burge. Back to Mills, going for a run. Everyone's joining in on the party here. Oh, that's a bad spill. The Ainslie should be all right. No, they won't be for the meantime. Pope, great handle inside 50. Troutman can't do much with it. Hurst. Relieving handle here for Ainslie. Tips around, Mills there to meet it. Mills does really well. Callanan to Troutman. Tries to spin out of trouble. He's well tackled.
And that's just the one area of Mills' game that sort of lets him down, is that kicking, and it's probably what let him down in his AFL career as well. But he's certainly a terrific defensive player and a really good marker of the footy.
So, Ainslie battling hard now. It was incorrect disposal. And so, free kick to be taken by Tyler Cornish. They'd be very happy with his game today. Across half-back he goes to Hill. Across into the centre of ground now, it's with Keller. So Jake Keller, right in the centre circle. Now finds Wade Mills. He's going to play on now. Kicks long inside 50. It's a one-on-one. Good spoiling there from the Ainslie defender in Campbell. Gets it away from Mellon. Ball hits the deck. In the middle now, waiting for it. Wells over the head there. Salter's going to hit it. Can he get through with the ball? No, he lets go of it. It's now with Wolbers. Wolbers dodges, weaves the big fella. Oh, it's wide, one behind.
No, it's hit the point post, has it?
Oh, yeah, that's right. So it's out of bounds on the full. It'll be a free kick to Ainslie, and Robert Toohey will take it in the back pocket.
I really thought he was going to slot that Wolbers once he found that space. So here's Vandenberg. Probably been Ainslie's best. But the contributors have been few and far in between today, particularly in the second half. So Neil takes the mark in defence. Hayne.
Ainslie haven't liked the scoring end, as you referred to at the left of screen. They've literally only scored two behinds to that end. So all of the scoring down this end.
So Wells picks up the loose ball, can't find a teammate, so Ainslie's going to work this one out. Oh, flying up his heel takes the mark of the day in the dying stages of the last quarter. Well done, Luke Hill. Been trying to either end today.
Even in the ruck as well, Will.
Yeah, he's been pretty versatile. As Callanan plays on the left, looks for a teammate in Geary. Plays on as well. Takes on the tackle, does really well, Geary. That's a poor kick. And Goldsmith can't do much with that. Or can he? Kick out to the advantage of Payne. That's lazy. Sloppy stuff at home. And Troutman's on the end of it.
That's actually twice he's done that today. There was one in the third quarter as well where he sort of just leant back on the kick, very laconic. Didn't cost him that time, and we'll see if it'll cost him this time with Troutman. Sort of distance, obviously not a worry. It's just a question of accuracy for him here.
You'd hope distance would be away from there for a footballer of his standard. Troutman from the pocket. Troutman becomes the 12th individual goal kicker of the day for Southport as they pile on another one, and it has become a real romping now.
It's becoming an increasingly unpopular bunch, the 10 who haven't kicked a goal today. It's certainly starting to get outweighed. A number of contributors, and that's what Southport have done pretty well all year. Even though they haven't been the most accurate at times, they've always had a pretty even spread of contributors on the scoreboard, and we've seen it again today.
I've seen some tired kicks in my day, but a tired kick that only goes 4 or 5 metres from your own goal line. But
well, you mentioned 4 or 5 metres. Should it have been a mark in the end?
Controversy here at
About to
Fankhauser
say.
Reserve.
It could have been play on, let's put it that way. But look, Nick Haynes battled hard, as have all of the players in the Ainslie defence. I think they've just had their colours lowered today. Obviously, it's now gone out to a 78-point margin. As we close in, it's the final term here in round 13 at Fankhauser Reserve, the home of the Southport Sharks, and they're doing it easily. Umpire bangs it down in the middle. Will Walbers versus Mulroney. Mulroney decisive to Lawless. Lawless turns the right foot. He's looking for his teammate. It's going to bounce away from him, in fact. It bounces away from Ward. It's picked up nicely by Mathis. He has a bounce. He wants to get away from Wade Mills. He's got Tyne on his hammer. Tries to get it back into Lawless, who started that passage. Spoiled from him. And now Southport defence. Oh, Lawless comes in and the crashing tackle, but it was too high. Southport will have the ball with Tyler Cornish. Very fortunate.
Another sloppy tackle because he had him absolutely wrapped up. He just made a textbook tackle. Cornish was sitting back there as well. Puts it down the line. The players go up. Walbers on the end of it. Does his own roving. The back handle was loose. So costed him. Harris in the middle. Harris can go even wider to Tui. His teammate in Walker, they're just stringing a few kicks here.
Tui hasn't been bad today either. I'd say he's been their best in the back line.
Kick goes forward, but it's another disappointing forward entry. It's been the story of the day for Ainslie. That ball was far too easy for Luke Hill to kill.
So when they have moved it, like they just did in that passage of play, you do have some positive signs there for Ainslie, but Southport have put the
Just
pressure
that
on
last
all day.
kick, isn't it, that they haven't quite been able to hit today.
The finishing polish. The boundary umpire throws it in, goes over the back of the pack. Nice left foot effort there towards the goal. Oh no, Southport have got it covered. Keller now, the right foot, kicks it out into space. It's a speculator on the wing. Who's going to make it there? Stewart. Will he get there? Campbell does for Ainslie. Turns and goes, decides there's nobody in front. I'll have a bounce. I might have another one. Better do it very quickly because he nearly ran his full distance. That's an awful tired kick from O'Neill, smothered there by Stewart. Stewart down the line. He's got Clark. Will it bounce for him? He keeps it in. No, he's tackled. And there'll be a throw-in at right half forward for Southport. There's some tired efforts at the moment.
A lot of cramping up there as well.
Still looking at a good 20-odd degrees here in Southport as Stone gets it down. Oh, could have been a push in the back there. Nothing doing, says the umpire. Harris gets the ball dislodged.
It was like Greco-Roman wrestling, that tackle.
There's a few moves in there that we can't describe, as the umpire will come in and throw it up again.
Well, we're doing our best today, Bryce.
So we'll have another ball up. Just forward of the centre for Southport. The inevitable siren we're all waiting for, because this game lost its sting early in that third quarter, and it is now a 78-point win to the Southport Sharks. 19-12-1-26, beating Ainslie 7-6-48. Multiple goal kickers for Southport, 5 for Jake Goldsmith. He was very effective up forward. Jason Burge had 3, and Fraser Pope had 2. They had plenty of other individuals. There were 9 to mention, so we might leave that for another day. While for Ainslie, the only multiple was Nick Payne. No, sorry. Yeah, it is Nick Payne. A lot of Nicks up forward for Ainslie, but he was the only one that was able to get 2 goals on the board. And who were your best today, Len?
For Southport, I thought Burge was very good. Obviously, Headland and Grayson from half back was terrific. I think Pope in patches. Goldsmith obviously up forward with the 5 goals, and I think Tyler Cornish was a really good in for them today. And for Ainslie, I think Mulroney was terrific in the ruck. You know, he battled all day. Vandenberg and Lawless found plenty of the footy, and Vandenberg showed his class. Ellis was really good in the first half and then sort of dropped away. Same with Utica, but just, yeah, not enough contributors in the end, Will.
Well, I think those two, the second and the fourth quarter, killed Ainslie, and then they only scored a point in the second quarter. They only scored 1 straight goal in the fourth quarter. So when they were kicking to the left of screen, they only scored 1 goal, 6 goals, 5 for the rest of the game. But Southport, 19 goals, 12, 31 scoring shots for 13. That goes beyond shellacking into Pizzling territory, and 78 points. Probably just reward for the effort that Southport put in.
Well, they've had the 2 big wins over the Canberra sides in the past 2 weeks, Queanbeyan and now obviously Ainslie. So that has them in some really good form heading into another tough period. And obviously Ainslie, after this tough game, they have another tough one against Sydney next week. So it'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from this result.
So not quite the contest we were hoping for. After a strong first quarter, Southport were able to run away with it quite comfortably. They notch up their 7th win of the season. It should take them up into the top 6 as Southport run out 78-point winners over Ainslie. I've been Will Ralston, joined by Michael Price and Liam Dettering here on Neefle TV. We hope you join us next week.